Cool. Let's get into it. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Makah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, through the Spirit, we out here once again. We're gonna go right into it. As you can see in the title, it's almost time. Okay, it's almost time, which is basically the theme of the times that we're living in, meaning that it's almost time for the last remaining prophecies to be fulfilled. And as a matter of fact, we're seeing the beginning steps, or really we're really in the middle of it, and the Lord has it to where it's like it's rising, in climax, but it hasn't hit the climax yet, so it's still rising. All right, and as a matter of fact, now is the most important time to be going into. Matter of fact, let's actually start off with Isaiah chapter 62, verse 6. Now is the most important time to be going into these end time prophecies. Okay, the prophecies in the book of Ezekiel. Okay, Ezekiel 38 dealing with World War III. Joel the second chapter. Okay, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, 2nd Ezra 16, Revelation 13. All right, Revelation 18, 19, Revelation 2nd Ezra 13. There's a whole bunch of precepts that are dealing with these times that we're living in. 2nd Ezra 15, and that's why it's important to not only understand them but to go into them and to give the people the warning, all right, of what's going to happen, because now we're closer than ever. Okay, so it's time for us to get into these major end time prophecies and making sure you truly understand them. All right, so when you get it, you can start.
This is Isaiah 62 and 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day or night.
Now, who are the watchmen? The watchmen represent the prophets. Okay, the watchmen are the prophets, because we have the ability to watch. We know what to look out for, and the Lord has given us the eyes to see. Right? There are others that the scriptures say see and they see not. So the Lord has given us the eyes to see. So when the scripture said set up watchmen, who set up watchmen? The Most High. Right? Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai set up the watchmen, which are the prophets, upon thy walls. Go ahead. Oh,
Yeah.
Jerusalem, read that part again.
O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day or night.
And the Jerusalem here is referring to the people. Okay? The people of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. So that's why we won't shut up about the MOTB or about these prophecies. And like I've said before, the prophecies themselves don't change, right? So it's the same prophecy that we got to keep on reporting on over and over and over again. So that's why people go, you guys are always talking about this. Well, that's our job. Okay? When you read, why do you think Jeremiah got 51 chapters in there? Why do you think he got so many chapters? Jeremiah was saying the same thing the Lord told him to say for all those years, from when he was a boy all the way up until he became old. For years. And that's because the Lord makes sure that after that there's no possible excuse, because the prophets have been out there for years. So even if you didn't hear them in the first year or the second year or the third year, you would have heard them in the fourth year. You would have heard them in the fifth year. Sometimes it takes time for something to permeate through society. But like you see like famous YouTubers, video game YouTubers, famous musicians, if you actually go back, like you'll hear about them out of nowhere, like, oh shit, who is this guy? Where they been at? And then you go back and find out this person been making music since 2010. You're like, oh shit, where were you? But you never heard about them until 2023, 13 years later. So with time, information spreads more and more and more. So that's why the Lord has us out here for such a long period of time, so that way the information will have permeated throughout the whole earth. Pursuant to Matthew, what's that? I think it's 24:14 or so. When this gospel shall have been preached throughout the whole world, then shall the end come. Because then nobody has an excuse. So that's why the scriptures say, prophesy and they don't hold their peace
day or night.
Right, we don't hold our peace day nor night. So we're always speaking on these things, whether it's the morning, whether it's the AM, whether it's the afternoon, whether it's the nighttime. We always out here. And I don't mean literally out here, but I mean we're always putting content out. Right? Go ahead. Oh, that was good.
Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent.
So when you make mention of the Lord, it's not just saying the Lord's name. Making mention of the Lord includes speaking on the prophecies that the Lord has set up, speaking on the works of the Lord, speaking on all these things, because the Lord is consistent in everything. Right? Let's go real quick to Revelation 4 and 11. The Most High made everything for him, for his sake, so he's consistent in everything. All right? And so everything, when we speak on prophecy, when we speak on the scriptures, we're making mention of the Lord. Because we don't attribute all these things to some other God. We attribute it to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Thus saith the Lord. So the scriptures say we're not supposed to keep silence. We're supposed to keep on prophesying on these things. And you're going to find out very soon why it's important that we kept coming out here and doing what we're doing. Right? Let's read that.
This is Revelation 4 and 11. And it reads, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power. For thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created.
Right, so for thy pleasure they are and were created. So everything was created by the Lord. All right, that goes into events, concepts, everything. Okay, there's certain things that exist, but they're not tangible, right? Like concepts. You know, when you take like a triangle is not a physical thing. Okay, a triangle is a concept. So you can see a shape, but a shape is not a physical actual thing. You may see a car that is shaped a particular way, but the shape itself is not tangible. The car is tangible. Okay, so now let's go to some of the precepts we had earlier that we were listening out in the car, and then we'll jump to the 2nd Ezra 16. Because a part of these prophecies that we've been speaking on are the time of spies and agents, which we're in now. And I mean, we've really been, look, as the apostles have been saying, man, the job of a spy, you know, when you hear about a spy that got caught, and they'll say like, this person was a spy, a British spy or whatever, for 17 years, for 28 years, and they finally caught him. So they were there, laying dormant, you know, blending in with the crowd for years, collecting information, because you have certain spies and agents, right? Spies and agents. A spy is someone sent out to spy your liberty, as the scriptures say. So they come among you, and they observe and they listen and they see what's going on. What are you saying? They gather information or intelligence, as they like to call it, on you. And then you have different agents whose jobs it is to infiltrate, get in with you, but at a certain point they're set to do something, or they're set, or over a period of time they're set to plant certain things, you know, manipulate certain things, give off a certain energy. Like you have an agent that, for example, or maybe they may be among you for like 5 years, and then every day after camp, they or at camp they'll do something that you won't pick up on, but it's something that's going to be used at a later point in time. They'll make a certain hand sign. They'll say something a certain kind of way. They'll stand at a certain location. They'll do something that has already been coordinated by their superiors to say, do this at the end of every camp, or whenever you're here with these such and such, or say this, or make reference to this, you know. And at a later point in time, we're going to use it as a connecting the dots. You know, oh, they did this over there. Oh, they had this over there. Oh, they even had that over there. You wonder in your mind, when the hell did we do that? Okay, but that's how they work. Okay, they slip past your mental defenses, and then they work that way. So we're definitely in that time. But guess what? At the end of the day, whether it's an agent, whoever the agent is, whoever sent the agent, all of those things, that's only possible because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai ordained it to be so. As a matter of fact, the agent is there because the Lord sent the agent. It wasn't Esau. The Lord put the thought in Esau's mind to send him because it's a part of the story. All right, the Lord is like, all right, now is the time where you send the infiltrators to come in here and have them do what they got to do. This is a part of my story. All right? Oh, yeah, done. So we're definitely in that time, and that's why it's important to remain circumspect. You know, the scriptures talk about remaining circumspect. Don't just be, you know, walking around like everything is all sweet. You know, you're just stuck in a routine. You know, you just go about every day doing that. You're not observing anything. Something weird goes down. You're not watching. The scriptures say, "Be not ignorant of anything in a small matter or in a great matter." Because typically small matters that are not addressed become great. You have a child. The child gets a certain age and they like to lie to you. You know? You saw them do something, they didn't see that you saw them. You say, hey, why did you do that? I didn't do that. I didn't do this. They start stealing. You put something over here, they come and take it. Hey, where's this thing? I don't know. And then, oh, that's a small problem, right? Because they're young. But if you don't correct that, what happens when they get old? Now they're doing, you know, heists. They're shooting and robbing people, sticking up people. They end up in jail. They committed murder. They're on the news. That's a big problem now, right? Maybe they become a serial killer. Maybe they become a you know, some crazy ass dude who goes and does some crazy stuff. Now that's a big problem, right? Because you didn't address that small problem. So the same way, when you see things that look small, you always got to pay attention to everything. Because something that looks small, like a tiny snowball at the top of a mountain, can cause an avalanche, right? You can bring out what you got.
This is Psalms 37 and 32.
But see, we don't got to worry about that because we're going to do what we got to do, right? Of course, we're going to be alert, but we're going to do what we got to do because at the end of the day, the Lord is going to deliver us anyway, right? Whether they're 10 or 20 or 30 agents that try to turn you into this, that, and the third, the Lord is going to deliver us anyway. And there was that movie, we saw that movie, this was years ago. It was one of the Planet of the Apes movies. And you had that big orange gorilla who was, well, I guess he was brown or whatever, but he was basically like, you know, the sellout guy. And at the end, he felt so bad, he tried to, you know, make it up to his people or whatever, but he realized that, yo, these humans, they don't care about you. They were just using you. Because guess what? You're still an ape. You're still an ape. Now, the scriptures tell you in Ecclesiasticus, I think 13 or so, that if he have need of thee, he will come crouching and speak smooth and sweet words to you and make you feel like you're important, like you're needed, like you're different. You're not different, okay? If he loved your kind so much, he wouldn't be using you to turn against your own kind. That's not how it works. All right, now let's read what you got.
Psalms 37 and 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous.
Right, now who is the wicked? Ultimately, the wicked is Esau, Edom. Okay, and that's pertaining to the scriptures. Malachi, the first chapter. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. I tried to pull it up on here. Scriptures say prove all things, right? So we're going to prove who the wicked is. Malachi 1 and 4, right? And it reads, whereas Edom saith, now who is Edom? I think in Genesis 36, is it? Let me see. It tells you who Edom is, or who, let's see, Genesis 36. Yeah, Genesis 36 and 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. So when we say Esau or Edom, it's talking about the Edomites, which are the descendants of Esau in the Bible, right? Okay, so this is Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom, which is referring to the Edomites, saith, we, right? So somebody, oh, but it says Esau is Edom. So that means that it's talking about the man himself. Well, it says we, right? So it's referring to his descendants, the nation of Esau. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down. So the Lord ain't with you. Because if he was, he wouldn't be throwing down what you're building. And they shall call them, what are they going to call them? The Edomites? The border of wickedness. Right? And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Now, when you look into the word border, it goes into the habitation. Okay, so they're going to be called the habitation of wickedness. All right, so that's why, and that's talking about the Edomites. So when we go back to what we're reading over there, ultimately the wicked is Esau. But you can have Israelites that are sometimes called the wicked because they're behaving in a wicked way, but in spirit they are a part of the righteous nation at the end of the day. Go ahead. They're just in a wicked mindset.
Psalms 37 and 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him.
Right, so the wicked watcheth the righteous. So in this case, who's the wicked? The wicked is Esau. But more importantly, it's really the heads of this world. Let's put it like that. All right, let's get down to the core of it. It's really the heads of this world. And when I say that, I'm talking about the people up at the top of the ladder, right? The super rich, who had so much money that now they got tired of what money can buy. They want to own, they want world domination, right? These super rich banking families, these Rothschilds and Rockefellers and Gettys and DuPonts and so on and so forth, all these, they're the ones behind the scenes calling the shots. And the head of them are from the nation of Esau. They are descendants of Esau. So they're Edomites. So when we say Esau, we're really mainly focusing on them. Okay? What people call today the Illuminati. But today they'll say like Jay-Z is Illuminati or he's a part of the Illuminati. But Jay-Z, he's just he's a low foot soldier. Okay, we're talking about those that are employing these people. Right? So those, because the average Edomites that walk around today, they're going about, some of them don't even know what's going on. They're going about their regular business. It's these elites that are the ones watching in secret. These are the ones that are above your Congress, and they're not tied to a specific government. All these governments are under them. Okay, they got agents within all these different governments, and they pull strings behind the scenes. Okay, so when it talks about the wicked watching, it tells you in what's that? Is it Daniel or Ezekiel? It says there is no. It's not in Daniel. I think it's in Ezekiel 28 or so that there is they're wiser than Daniel. There was no secret that they can hide from me. Right? Why is that? Because they're watching everything. That's why they call it intelligence. They have super smart people, to put it in layman's terms, that have cameras everywhere, and they watch everything. When they design these new TVs, they design your first off, anything that has a microphone or has has a camera in there can be accessed. All right. Even if your device is off, all they have to do is just route power to a certain part of your device where your camera is, and they can hear everything you're doing. Okay, so they and just because they can turn on your camera obviously without you knowing, so your phone is just there or whatever, and you don't even know what's going on. They can do that because they were able to put all these programs together and so on and so forth. So they're watching all the time and listening. That's how they know what's happening, where, who said what. This person was planning this for how long. Oh, we just arrested these people on their way to commit an act. How do you know what they were going to go do? Well, we've been watching them for X amount of years. We watched them buy these materials. We watched them gather this information. We watched them put together this plan. Why didn't you stop them then? We wanted to make sure that they self-incriminated themselves, so that when we come up to them, because these are tactics that they use. They know that maybe they got like one count of you committing some crime. They're not gonna, if it's like the FBI or like the CIA, they're not gonna come to you because they found out you committed a crime, one crime, two crimes. No, they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait till they get like 11, 12, 20, 50, 80 counts, 30 counts of this, 15 counts of that, so that when they catch your ass, when they finally pull up on you, they have two ways. If you're a person of interest, they'll tell you, look, we got this on your ass. You go into jail, and your skeleton is going to be in jail, and your skeleton is going to be in jail, and his descendants are going to be in jail. That's how long you're going to be under there. Okay? If you're lucky and you don't get the death penalty. Or you can do this for us, and then we'll wipe that all off. They take you to the interrogation room. That's what they do. They're there to negotiate in that kind of way. So that's what they'll do. They'll wait and da. But the point is, how do they know that you did this, you did that, you did this? They're watching everything. Oh yeah. Come. Just let someone know where you at. All right. So because they're watching everything, right? So as we were reading over there, it says that the wicked watch. They're watching the righteous, which the righteous represents us, the Israelites, but specifically in this time the elect. Because these elites, they don't really care too much about these those that are not doing the work of the Lord. Those that are doing, if you're doing the work of the Lord, that means that you're awake. Oh, good. 36. Gotta get any batteries for this. Take it close. Take it close enough and then press it. They don't care about what these guys are doing because they know what they're doing already. They know that, look, it's like when you babysitting or you got kids, You know that this person, if I give him a toy, I don't gotta even come back and look at him. He's gonna stay right in that very same position the whole day. I gotta come and like take the toy away before he can go eat or something, right? And this person, if I give them a iPad, they're good, they're set. I just gotta give this kid candy and they set, they're good. This one over here, him I gotta watch. Because the second I turn around, I'm gonna turn back, he's not there. And I know when I turn around, I'm gonna catch him in the wrong place where he's not supposed to be doing something he ain't supposed to be. So we're like that kid that they always gotta watch because we actually have some alertness. We're not distracted by what they give us, you know? So the second they like, yo, keep an eye on these people. That's why it says they're watching. All right. And ultimately they're watching because they're waiting for their moment when the Lord is going to put the spirit on Satan, and Satan is going to come and tell them because they have the meetings. Now it's go time. Not knowing that they think they got agents among us who are leading us into a trap, but they don't know that Satan is an agent of the Lord leading them into a trap. So it's like they show you in those memes, right? This person got a gun to the back of this person's head. Somebody got a AR to his head, and somebody got a sniper to the person with the AR's head. You know, that's how the Lord set the whole thing up. So who's going to pull what trigger?
This is Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy,
To break it down.
for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass. So like the brother was saying that what? You have to keep an eye on this guy. You can't take your eye off him. Because what? He's like a serpent. Now imagine if you know a snake is around you and it's a poison snake. You know you're gonna keep your eye on this thing because you know at any moment you take your eye off that snake, what's gonna happen? It's gonna dip off and it's probably gonna come near you and bite you. Right? So it's the same thing so you have to keep an eye on him, right? I believe that's also on 2 Corinthians 2:11, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He's saying she get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he not get an advantage of us? Because we're watching him, we're constantly keeping our eye on him.
All right. You still got that? And what was that, Psalms 36? Was it? 37? What? Whoever got it.
Psalms 37, 33. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged.
Start up again. Where you were reading?
Verse 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him.
Yeah, and that's the same energy that Cain had back in the garden. You think Cain wasn't watching Abel? He was watching them all right. See, it wasn't like the second. Matter of fact, let's get that account in the book of Genesis. Because when you read the scriptures, you have to keep in mind, right, that the Bible is not going to give you the details of every single 24 hours of everybody's life. In one verse, it just hits the important points. Okay, so there came a day when this happened, and then the next time around, this happened. That next time around might have been 2 months later, 3 months, 4 years, 5 years later. So it doesn't mean, for example, today Abel did the offering. The second he turned around, I'll get this. I'm tired of this nigga right here. It said, kill his ass. No, So Cain had to be, waiting for his opportunity, and then he said, yeah, I've had enough. So and also it takes time, right? You see this, you get mad. The Lord ain't dealing with you the way He's dealing with Abel. So now in your mind, you start it takes time. You festering to the point where you're like, I'm gonna kill this guy. I've had enough. Maybe one day you just look at him and then the spirit just jump on Cain, and he's just like, yeah, it's over. I'm gonna take him out. But when he was watching Abel, he was watching him with hatred and malice in his heart, because just like Jacob and Esau were two different spirits, so were Cain and Abel, though they came from the same loins. Okay? You got that?
I'm going to start from the top.
You can start from the top.
This is Genesis 4:1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife.
Which is another way, a polite way, maybe I think the term is a euphemism for laying, having sexual intercourse. So that's what he knew, meaning he got intimate with Eve, his wife. Right? Go on.
And she conceived and bare Cain.
See how quick that is? Now, does that mean Adam got busy with Eve, and he turned around and then she right then and there he came back, Cain was on the floor? No, that's 9 months, right? That's 9 months in between. And as a matter of fact, maybe it was even some more time. I mean, I'm sure the women were more fertile back then, so probably the first time around, you know, that's it. That's all it takes. One and done.
There is that chance that sometimes even when you pumping her, it doesn't always, you know, go through.
Yep.
But like you said, back then, obviously, probably was.
Yeah, one and done. You gotta be real careful. You know. Joseph tried to get away with it, but got him on the last go around. Said, ah, shit. Go ahead. Because you know, that's what they tell you, right? They'll tell you that you think that your pull-out game is the best game in the world, but it's actually a very, 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 very tiny fractional percent where you can actually get a woman pregnant without actually excreting semen into her, because there's something called precum, which is a clear liquid that you don't actually see. You don't feel it, you don't see it. It just comes forth. So even before you start getting into the mood, you like, yeah, I'm all good. I know when I'm gonna put that. There's a chance that precum could have semen inside of it, and that could actually get her pregnant. That's why people be like, oh, it's full out. How she got pregnant? Oh, well, so that's some news for you. But at the same time, we know that the Most High is the one that controls the womb of the woman, because then you have barren women, right? Barren women, they may be trying all the time. They're pumping gallons up into them, you know, and then they still don't get pregnant because the Lord, what? He closes the womb. So the womb is like, think of the womb like a spiritual portal, you know? And when the conception happens, the door opens and the spirit comes in there. See, so the Lord is the one who decides if she's going to get pregnant or not. Kinda, yep. Now I don't mean jump around and say, oh Lord, this is what I'm, no, don't tempt the Lord. That's what the scriptures say, you know? Anyway. Right, so then right there, when we're reading that's some time, right? Adam, you know, deals with his wife, and then they live, 9 months is a pretty decent amount of time. Maybe not for them, because they live super long, but that's still some time. You go about, you doing regular dude, she gets pregnant, she's, you know, the maids and stuff, people gotta take care of her, all that good stuff, right? Then eventually she gets forth the baby, and the firstborn, that's Cain, right? Go on.
And said, I have gotten a man from the Lord.
Which I believe the name Cain in the Hebrew is Quayan, which is a weapon or like a dagger. Right? Go on.
And she again bare his brother Abel.
You hear that? So that's all in the same verse, right?
No, that's the beginning of the second verse.
Okay, so that's 2 verses. 2 verses is covering the span of, I mean, it doesn't say how long was the age difference between Cain and Abel. You know, but maybe it wasn't that long, but maybe it was. Maybe it was like a year or 2 or 3 or 4. You never know. You never know, right? But once again, now she bear Abel. Go on.
And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground.
So Abel was a shepherd, okay? Tend to the sheep and all that good stuff. Go on.
And in the process,
and you can think of Cain like a farmer, because when you till the ground, that's what you do. You know, you farm, you plant, you know, do all that good stuff. So it's very possible that they knew they had to have knowledge of how to plow, how to break up the earth, how to plant all that stuff in there. See, when people think of Adam and Eve in that time period, they think of like some old ancient time, so old that they didn't know how, like shit was just like, they would just open their hands and food would fall into their hands. You know?
Oh my God, let's just call it earth. They just think there was a bunch of dumbasses just walking around. It's like some retards or something. Yep. That's what really people think.
But they had a civilization.
When you really get into it, like you were saying, in order for him to be a keeper of sheep, what was like David? What, you have to tend to sheep, you got to watch them, what's that going to shepherding? So what, shepherding was back then, like you were saying, till of the ground. What is that, what is that, the reaping of the harvest and things like that. The winnowing and all that. So that system, all that you read about in the scriptures, was there back then during that time. But a lot of people think that, oh, you're just a bunch of dumbasses just walking around just,
Right? Because remember, it was when man was created, I think it was the 5th day, where it talks about the water brought forth a moving creature to have life, up until you get to the day where it says the powers rested, and then it starts talking about the lineage of Adam. That's a good 1,000 years or more. You mean to tell me that people just sat there for 1,000 years not doing shit? No, they were civilizations. They were cities. First off, if Abel was a shepherd, he wasn't the first shepherd. And if he wasn't the first shepherd, that means that there were people that were already shepherds there. And if they're already shepherds there, then they had to be people that would know how to utilize the sheep, right? They know how to use the wool for clothing. They know how to use the meat. They know how to use whatever they got to do.
I think Cain's lineage, one of them was good with music.
Yep.
So music was back then.
Yep.
I think it was Tubal Cain.
Mhm.
He was good with the weapons. So
Mhm.
all that was there.
Yep, artificer and all of that. You know, they had cities and everything. So they had a civilization back then. Okay, it wasn't just one man and one woman walking in the forest, you know, naked, but like they had this magic leaf that just never falls off. It just like stays there the whole entire time, right? That's not how it worked. Go on. So when you read the scriptures, you have to visualize it. You know, you gotta visualize it. It's real.
And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground.
You hear that? In the process of time. So how long is that? It doesn't say. Go on.
An offering unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect.
So what the fuck is this? Yo, bro, Cain done brought baskets and shit. Alright, Lord, so I got you right here. So I got a little something like yeah. So I got a little something right here. I got a little something right here. See this right here, this turmeric, it's good for real, you know, yeah, it's good stuff. You got that cayenne pepper right there too. You mix a few of that, Lord, and you gonna have a good time. He's like, nigga, man, if you don't get this shit out my face. And so, but the point is, Abel had a better sacrifice than Cain, right? Go on.
And Cain was very wroth.
So he was very wroth. He was very angry. He was hurt, and then he got angry, right? Go on.
And his countenance fell.
And his countenance fell. Go on.
Lord, you better drop that car, brother. You better not hit the brother's car and shit. You looking scared behind that wheel.
The other two that went on the
Curve,
curb.
curve, yeah. Drive on the sidewalk. Oh, shit. Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
Hey, why you mad? Go on.
If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
There you go. So if you do what you got to do, well, it's like you do something wrong, you get rebuked and you get mad. You know, man, I hate this thing. You did wrong. You know, if you do right, you're gonna be good. If you don't, then you ain't gonna be good. Go on.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
And that's why he was known as the man of sin. Okay, go on.
And Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass.
He talked with Abel. So he did all that. It's not like the second that the sacrifice happened, he just got all upset and shit and just went and killed him. Go on.
And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him.
There you go. So he sought out an opportunity. Because once again, you can't just, oh, you know what? Give me a rock. Hit him in the back of his head. Now he's dead. And there's witnesses all around. If you are a shepherd, right, wherever you take your sheep to graze, there's a chance that somebody else is going to have a flock there grazing as well. Wherever you take your sheep to drink water, there's going to be a well where everybody comes there to do their stuff, right? When you're in the field, you're not the only one who has a field. You're not the only one who's reaping and so on and so forth. See, so Cain had to come up with some. All right, when can I really when is a good time to really get this guy? And then, as it says, he found a good opportunity and he rose up and he slew Abel. So he watched him and he looked for a good time.
Like the serpent. The serpent will what? Like that when it has an animal. I've seen it literally in the cage. You can look it up on YouTube. This thing was.
Oh hell no!
Oh, I just want to hear the word. Serpent literally just watched the animal like this in the cage. And the animal, I think it was around too, was trying to scurry up out of there. And then after a while, the rat just like gave up and was like, started getting off of. And then the still snake didn't do nothing for like a good 5 minutes. And then after, whoop,
He's gone.
but what? That's to show you that the mentality that the Lord gave that wicked line, that serpent-like mind, where they would just watch you for a while. That's honestly, just speaking as a man, I know this is I think that's the 3rd chapter with Adam and Eve with the serpent, right? I think it's the same thing that the serpent did, whatever man that was. I think he was doing the same thing. I think he was scoping out Eve before eventually went to
Yeah. You ain't randomly just gonna pull up on
Yeah,
somebody.
because like I don't want Adam near me. I want to get you.
Yep.
So I think it's the same thing. I think he was scoping out.
Yep. And you know it says, because when he came there, he had his message prepared. Right? Matter of fact, let's go there too. Because when he came there, he ain't just, hey, you know, man. He said, the Lord said that you ain't going, yo, man, if you don't back your ass up, then don't go near that car. You know? But he came there, right? He came with his message prepared.
But he was talking as if he knew something, like you were saying, intelligence, watching beforehand.
Yep.
Because how could he know that stuff?
That's right. And once again, you gotta imagine that. It was not a natural snake. You know what I'm saying? It's slithering like Medusa and shit. And it gets all up and then starts talking. First of all, a snake can't talk.
With 4 legs.
Yeah, with 4 legs. You know, upon thy belly shalt thou go. So the snake is going to eat and dust and shit. That's not like, you know, it's funny, right? So-called Christians would actually imagine that to be a real thing. And then when it comes to the real things in the scriptures, now that's not possible. God can't do that. Well, why would he do that? But he's going to make a talking snake. That's the only talking snake in the world. You know? Shit, that's crazy. Yep.
Psalms 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah, hey, he sits in the lurking places, man. So they like to do things in private. That's why these cops, you see them that ducked off, they're just waiting. Like on the highway, for example, they'll be really, really in the cut. But where by the time you actually see them, you're already done speeded by, and now you're a prey.
Yep.
You know, and that's just one example. They do that a lot. They try to seek us out privily by setting up agents in the camps. You know, they wait for their opportunity, and then they strike. And that's why we have to be vigilant.
Right. Yep. Yeah, you gotta imagine that. You know, it's not like once again, it's just some secluded ass area. No, that serpent waited for his opportunity. He's watching. You know, he's seeing what's going on, like a creep. You know, okay, all right. He's envious. You know, so he comes in there and says, "Let me do what I gotta do." You know, hey, you know, like today, he'll bump into you by accident. Oh, I'm so sorry. Wow. Oh, man. My name is John. You just bumped in. Okay. Nice to meet you. What's your ear? You know, and as you go, I'm sorry. Do you just have a minute? I just wow, I totally forgot my
They'll do that, like you said, that bumping and it'll drop something
Yeah.
as well.
Yep.
Kind of cause you
Yep.
to stay a little longer, linger while you pick up. Hey, hold up, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you."
yeah.
And now all of a sudden you in a conversation, but that's how they do it to lock you into them.
Yep. Before you know it, you give up information that you didn't want to give up. You know, because that's how they do. That's the circle.
So that's where you are on the 12th.
Right. You know?
At 8:03 p.m. At 8:03 a.m.
Yep. Y'all gotta watch the TV show You on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I see.
You gonna see how they move. Dude, it's crazy. But yeah, now you good on that. Let's go back to where we were. So that's the point. They watch you. Okay, they watch and watch. And in order to watch like that, you gotta have patience. You know, so they watch and they watch, and that's why Biden came out talking about our patience is wearing thin. You know, so they watching and watching and watching and watching and watching. Because what they do, you know why a snake, when it waits so long? Because it wants to make sure that it doesn't have to strike twice. You know? Seldom, like if it goes after a spray, would you see a snake strike twice? You know, unless it's like, shit, I really got to get this dude. But typically, because it takes energy. So they're going, boom, and then they got your ass. Then they start rapping. So that's what Esau does. That's why he ain't just gonna come and attack at no. You know, at some point he throws in the news here, and so on and so forth. But he's waiting for that pivotal moment, and then he's gonna do his strike. You know?
Unless it's a mongoose.
Yeah, exactly.
Mongoose will always be able to overtake a snake.
Yep.
We like the mongoose.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, done. Hey, that's Isaiah 59 and 19. That's the mongoose. Second that snake jumps, Lord's going boom.
Yep.
There you go. Go back there.
Psalms 37 and 33. 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him.
If he gets to slay him. So really, look, when you got like the inner mind of these people right here, they may come and sound all friendly. Listen, man, if you got dudes like Vocab that come and sound, this camp, I mean, they're good, you know, they wouldn't speak this kind of thing. They're trained to speak that way. Okay, that's why it says their words were smoother than butter. You know why it's smooth? Because it slips past your defenses. People, there's something about human nature, right? You go all angry to somebody and they meet you with like calm energy, it calms you down. You go nice to somebody, they meet you with angry energy, it fires you up. They know how to do that and manipulate you, right? It's called manipulation. So there are actual certain tactics you use, and it'll make somebody like, if you laugh at somebody's jokes, you know, if you make somebody laugh, like these kinds of things, you make them comfortable around you, right? And that's what they do. They use smooth words, you know, to like flatter you and all that. And you know, no, I mean, a lot of these Israelites, they're like this, but you guys are different. You know, I like you guys are, you know. And then you're like, yeah. You know, he thinks we're different. Okay, you're gonna see this guy in a FEMA camp, and he's gonna come in there, Agent Riser. You know, he's gonna come in there with the gloves and shit. You know, hand me the tools. And now here you looking at, oh no, vocab, it's me. And he's opening the shit, and you seeing tools you don't want to see. You know, them razors, them spice, flame torches, all these shits. You know, and he's putting the mask on nicely. All right, bring the time up and bring him here. Then you're gonna realize, oh shit, water. You're gonna realize, oh shit, this man really is a devil. So they got that outward look, but deep down inside, if they had the chance, as it says, they're seeking to slay us. Okay, they want blood, because the scriptures tell you, blood has nothing in their sight. These people can give orders to drop bombs on people that have no idea what's going on and just murk them just like that. You think they're afraid, and for somebody like us who's threatening them with the truth, you think they're just gonna sit there? No, they want to eliminate us. When you find out the things they do in these torture camps, you know, when they capture these so-called terrorists, the things they do over there, you're gonna realize, oh, these guys right here, man, they don't got a heart. Go on.
Now, verse 33. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged.
Mm-hmm. What's the next one?
Psalms 38 and 12.
All right.
They also that seek after my life lay snares for me.
Yeah, and guess what? They seek after our life. So they're laying snares so they can have a justification. Snares are traps. You know, so they're setting traps here, they're setting traps there, trying to get us. Go on.
And they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things, and imagine deceits all the day long.
Mm-hmm. So that's what they do. All right, that's a part of that Micah 2. You know, they devise iniquity upon their beds, and when the morning is light, they practice it. You know, because it's in the power of their hands. But ultimately, the Lord is going to shut it all down. You know, they ain't going to succeed at that. That's it on that?
Yeah.
All right, let's jump to 2 Ezra 16.
Well, I may mention, son, because I don't really watch TV, but sometimes when I take up my PlayStation, my TV automatically goes to like this Lifetime movies and things like that. If you ever watch some Lifetime movies, that gives you insight on the mind of how Edomites think, how they plan things out. So like when it says, you know, what was that, Micah 2 and 1 was it? For the devised iniquity upon their beds. Okay. So it's Micah chapter 2 verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And if you ever watch those type of Lifetime movies, especially when it's the women, a lot of those movies when there's like killing and mischievousness is going on is when the women is in there. And if you watch it, when you watch it, a lot of that stuff is when Eve is going something wicked and things like that. And it really shows you the mindset of how they devise things. They're just thinking about this, they're setting up a plan. Some of the times they don't sleep. They're thinking about, okay, somebody's trying to find me out, I gotta find a way to take this person out. Oh, this person come, I gotta find this, I gotta find that. So they're always thinking of something to take out somebody so that their plan doesn't get overthrown.
That's right. That's right. That's their nature. You know? Go ahead. And any precepts that y'all get along the way, bring it up. Got it.
This is 2 Ezra 16 and 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia.
Which Babylon is America. Okay. Asia, we know where Asia's at. Go on.
Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with garments of sackcloth and hair, and bewail your lands.
And the garments of sackcloth is typically the sackcloth was made of goat's skin, okay, or goat's hair, and it was made to be uncomfortable, to irritate the skin, because the point was for you to be in a state of mourning, so you weren't supposed to be comfortable or having a good time, right? Go on.
And bewail your lands and mourn, for your destruction draweth nigh.
And so that's why it's one of those end time prophecies, because the destruction of these different regions, you know, is going to be taking place at this time that we're living in. Go on.
A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?
And that sword is sent by the Heavenly Father. That when it says a sword, it's a metaphor for the different forms of destruction. The famines, the pestilences, the chaos, the war, you know, the diseases, all of these different things. What?
Verse 4. A fire is sent among you, and who may quench and extinguish it? All manner of evil is sent unto you, and who may drive it back? May any man
What?
May any man drive away a hungry
So
lion?
what does that mean? That's actually pairing it up with Isaiah 40, so shall my word be. Is that Isaiah 55 and 8?
Isaiah 55 and 8.
55 and 8? Okay. It shall not return to me void. Yeah,
I think it starts around 8.
Yeah, so you can bring that up. So that's what the Lord is saying here, right? Who's going to read that part again? Then we get into Isaiah.
All manner of
Above that. Who made
fire.
Yeah.
2nd Ezra 16:4. A fire is sent among you, and who may quench and extinguish it?
Right, so that fire is sent to destroy. So the Lord is basically saying that He's sending destruction against you, these different places that were mentioned, and who's going to be able to stop it? Right? And that's what we're going to read here, because the scriptures say, can any man bring a clean out of an unclean? Or can any man make something straight that is crooked? No. If the Lord has made it one way, you can't make it another. So when the Lord sends that destruction, as we're going to read here, there's no turning back. And that's why it says, can any man drive away a hungry lion? Go ahead.
Isaiah 55 and 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways.
And that's why Esau's messed up. He's in a trick bag, because he thinks he has a plan for the Most High when the Most High comes back. You know, he got all these different weapons and space weapons and military and all these things, thinking that they're going to stand a chance. But when the Lord, it's going to take the Lord a very, short amount of time. You step down a little bit. There you go. It's going to take the Lord a very short amount of time for Him to completely do away with this place. And once He takes out the heavy artillery in such a, a short span. Let me just back this a little bit. All right. Okay. All right. In such a short span, they're gonna realize what they're really up against. Okay. Go on. Oh, actually, you.
Yep. It says, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
Yeah, and that's how the only way we know about the Lord's ways and His thoughts is throughout the scriptures. Go on.
For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, it maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth.
So meaning they're gonna go in reverse, right? The rain, when rain comes down, it has a purpose, right? Rain is meant to do something, and it just describes some examples of that. But when it starts raining, you don't ever see water going from the ground up into the sky, right? It always comes in one direction, and it does one thing. So that's how the word of the Lord is likened unto. It comes down to do a certain purpose, but it doesn't go in reverse. Okay? Go on.
So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
There you go. So whatever the Lord says, like him sending a fire against this place to bring destruction upon this place, guess what? That's exactly what's going to happen. So that's why we're able to speak with such confidence when we tell you that the MOTV is going to come out, because you're going to do it. Here, I mean, how anybody that just, even if you're just an observer, just think about that, right? These people have been openly saying that these guys are going to do this one specific thing, and guess what? They still going to do it. Why don't they say, you know what, they're on to us, let's switch it up. Let's make it a helmet, or like knee braces or something, or a wristwatch. They're going to do the same exact thing that we've been saying they're going to do. Exactly as we've been saying it. Because that's the power of the Lord. They can't help but to do it. No matter what they come out and tell you, they're going to do the same exact thing. Guess what? The world is going to look like the picture we painted in your mind very soon. Because it's like them telling you, you're standing over here, they're over here, we telling you this guy's about to come punch you in the face. They say, no, I'm not gonna come punch you in the face. I'm getting further and further away from you. Now, I don't even know what's going on. And then boom, they punch you in the face. That's literally what Esau does. He's coming to you, telling you that he's stepping away from you. You know? That's what they do.
That's how they make all these laws in the name of protecting, but yet who are you protecting, right? Because you can't say, this is hate speech or this is discriminating against a group. Meanwhile, you're saying what we're saying is hate speech, so we're not allowed to say that. You're discriminating against us
Right.
and our religion as well. You know, isn't it the land of the free and the home of the brave, and you can have your own, freedom of speech and so on and so forth. Now we're shifting into a state of permission of speech, right? If it's not permitted, you can't say it. You know, especially against these little small hats. You know, which is crazy. It's funny because yesterday I met one of my the officers, and I went there and talking and all that. And before I left, you know one thing he said? He said, because the janitor came around, so I was like, okay, well I'll leave you to it. So I'm about to leave. So he's like, oh come on, bring it in, and he gave me a hug. He gave me a hug. I said, hey man, be good. As I'm about to leave, he looked like an Edomite. You know what he goes? This is crazy. He goes, hey, by the way, he goes, hey, Shalom. Huh? That's what he said. So I was like, I turned my head, I was like, what? So I looked at it, I said, hey, that's right, Shalom, that's right. Because I don't know where you got that from. So yeah, like that's our inner thing. So when I hear somebody from the outside say that, right away I'm gonna have to be on some defensive, like, wait, where'd you get that?
Yeah.
You know, who are you? Right, yeah. So I said Shalom, because Shalom is general, everybody says that. So if I say Shalom, then it's like, oh, okay, well, at least you're saying the general thing that everybody says. I'm not going to say Shalom back, because I don't know where you're coming from. So I said, hey, that's right. Hey, I said, hey, that's right. Shalom. Hey, be good, all right? And I left. So right away, I got in the car. That shit fucked me up the whole time going back home, because I'm like, has he watched the video? Has he seen it? Like, how does he know? Like, like, is he an agent? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, fuck. You know? But it goes to show you that the times that we're in, the vibration is out there. From last year till now, it's perfect timing, because last year around this time is when you had that whole Kyrie situation, the Hebrews to Negroes thing.
It's not even a year.
It's been a year. And now we're about to enter. Now the whole scene is set. Since last year, now the Lord has opened up the books. People have been watching the videos. They know who's watching, and people are very in tune of what's going on. You go on these comment boards nowadays, it's all people just putting out that oh, this narrative is not, we're not gonna work with it, because what they wish was for people to be doing the we stand with Ukraine shit. Nah, the people ain't standing with Israel. They're not. For the most part, everyone is against them. You know, and that's why
They come on news stations threatening news anchors and shit. I don't know if you saw that video.
Which one?
The one I told you put in the chat. You had Amalek. You came on RT News.
I think I saw that. He was mad aggressive.
Yeah, he's mad aggressive. He said, for every one of you. And we will remember every one of you, including you too. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he was just asking questions. But then again, even the news anchors, all of them, they're saying that everyone is coming out saying the truth, because there's nothing else to say. It's blatant. It's out there. So they just got to come outright and say it. Everything that we've been saying. And another coworker of mine yesterday in the office, he goes, hey, you've been paying attention to this whole Israel-Gaza situation? I'm like, what's going on? All of a sudden, everyone is going into like, oh, it's biblical. You know, it's even the Bible talks about that. Once everyone comes against Israel, we're at the end. That's what he said.
Everybody's experts.
Bro. And I was like, yeah, I played dumb, like, I was like, hey, that's right. Hey, I really haven't gone too much into the Bible, but I think I'm going to start doing that now. You know, just to cut it off, because you don't want people looking at you funny. You know? But that's like we've been going into, we got to use wisdom. This is the top of wisdom. Don't let people know who you are.
Right.
No. You got to extract more. Like somebody come up to you and say, hey, Shalom, or whatever. I'm pretending like I don't know what you're talking about. I want to know where you coming from first before we engage. You know, just if you're an agent, I know how to defend against that. You know what I'm saying? Because they come around and start sniffing around, because that's the atmosphere, right? That's what's in the atmosphere. Israel versus the Israelis. Israelites versus Israelis. That's what's going on. And that's it's going to be a clash where our Lord is going to come back and destroy this place.
The lights versus the leaves.
There you go.
So
that's the time
the
to
leaves.
leave.
Yeah,
The leaves. I like that.
Yeah. We the lights, they the leaves.
That's it.
Because now I'm pretty sure they don't pick up on the small hats. They don't pick up on 48ers. They don't pick up on everything you do. They don't pick up on it. So we got to keep switching it up. You know? See, we ain't going to make it easy for you.
No.
You know? We ain't going to do that. Our job is to make your life not easy.
Harder than it is now.
That's it.
We can say the U-Wish. Or the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I like that. I like that.
The Make-A-Wishes.
One of them. Yeah. You got it?
Second Ezra 16:6. May any man drive away a hungry lion
Right,
in
so
the
as,
wood?
as we were just reading, the scriptures talk about, the Lord's word not coming back void, right? So, may any man drive away a hungry lion? That's a rhetorical question, because the answer is really no, right? Go on.
Or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when they have begun to burn?
Go on.
May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer?
So when you have a strong archer that releases that string of that bow, and the arrow is going in one direction, you can't make it do a U-turn. Okay? Go on.
The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?
So who's the Lord? The Most High. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, via his angels. Okay, and what are the plagues? The plagues are not just diseases. The plagues are all forms of this destruction that's going to cause misery and pain to this place. Okay? And as it says, he sent forth the plagues and what?
And who is he that can drive them away?
Nobody. Nobody can drive away those plagues. You know? This is a matter of, ultimately that's why Esau is going to be done away with so badly. You know, because you're coming up against, it's like going full speed into an immovable object or unmovable object. Okay, you're going to get crushed. If you run headfirst into a wall, who's going to back up? You or the wall? So that's what's coming.
Right.
You know, they're moving headlong.
Hey, that's why Yahushua said he saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning.
Yep. And that's very fast.
That's very fast. You're not going to be able to stop it. You can't brace it. You can't brace for impact. It's just going to happen. That's why it's going to happen suddenly, even for the people of this world. Because guess what? They put their trust in Esau to defend them.
Right.
But now Esau is the one who's going to be looking for defense, but there'll be no defense to be found. What are you going to do then? It's a hopeless world of what? Chaos, and that's going to end in what? Destruction. It always ends up that way. Okay, chaos without a solution will always be left in a state of residue of complete destruction. Like they're showing all the post-apocalyptic shit. Well, it's during that time we're gonna be up looking down at this place. All right, just to show you those post-apocalyptic scenes, the elect are not down there, scrambling for burnt corn and shit like that. No, it's destroyed, and then you have a new regime that comes over to take over. That's the end result of war. Okay, all these wars, World War I, World War II, and now we're about to enter into World War III, was all designed to happen to create a state of unrest, a state of an opening for a change. It's always been that way.
Yep.
And this time it's going to be the war that ends all wars, that opens up the change for a new rulership. A new realm, from Esau to Jacob. Okay, as the blessings go, Esau is what? The end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Okay, you got the blessings, you got the fatness of the earth, you got the sword. Okay, and it's through that sword that you use to rule over the world, and you take what? The fatness of it, which is the best of the best. Okay, you could take the land of Palestine. That's the truth. The whole concept of this whole thing is what? They want to create the land of Israel as their own, so they can run their whole so-called New World Order from that base. Because of the vibration it carries. When you go to the land of Israel, they still have things today that people used to go back to for what? Damn, I forget what land this place is. Hamath something. All right, and there's a land that has a water body that exactly it gets as hot as 124 degrees Fahrenheit. That people go in there and bathe, and miracles happen. You might have infirmities. You go in there and it cleanses you.
Yahushua healed the man that he said that man that needed help to go into the water.
Water, yeah, and then he went in there and then he got healed of his infirmities. Right, so people used to, travel over there to the land of Israel, and now they've made it into like a spa where people they could charge money doing that. So Israel has a lot of natural properties and benefits that these devils want to take over. It has a lot of spiritual significance. Okay, to the things that's going on in
presence over there.
Boom, there you go. There you go.
They took it, there's still the residue of the prophet who died, and his bones still had the power that he had.
Yeah, exactly.
The residue.
Exactly.
I think it was in the right? Bringing people back to life with his bones. So guess what? Them devils, they read that. They when they scavenge, they find bones. They're gonna start doing some rituals with that. Because it still has energy in it.
They want to just use it on the left hand side. That's what they always go into. They'll get, let's go excavate this. Let's go. All that excavation they're doing in that land is so spiritually impactful.
Why not anywhere else?
Boom. That's why they want to make that place their home base. That's why they want the Palestinians gone. Even though the Palestinians had that land before, they said, nah, fuck that. Since 1948, we coming in here, we want the whole place to be our shit. That's why they're coming after Syria, because Syria is right there. They want that part of the land. They're coming down to Egypt, Libya, right? Lebanon, right? All these different countries are surrounding, border countries. And that's what they want. They want that whole area, that whole landmass. Because if you have that power, you dictate what goes on up north, out west, down south, out east. You're in the center of the whole entire world. Okay? That's what they want that land for. So all this bullshit going on is because of that. Okay, but guess what? Ultimately, it's in the midst of that the Lord comes back and destroys their ass.
Yeah, well, there's always been wars over that region.
Yep.
You know, when you go back in history to the 6 Syrian wars, that was fought and it was back and forth, and that region was there because that region is, like you said, it's like it's a very it's like a stronghold region because anybody that wants to go from north down or down, from Egypt up, you're gonna need to go through there. Yeah, because sometimes it's easier to travel by land than by ocean, right? So maybe you may be trying to get some stuff from Egypt to maybe Greece, and you don't want to just cut straight across the Mediterranean. So you'd rather carry it by land to maybe like Joppa, and then go to Cyprus. These things. So whoever controls that middle route controls, they can institute like tax or whatever, and anybody that wants to go up and down, you got to go through them. So it's very advantageous for that. But guess what? A lot of those nations, they're going to come with Russia and Ezekiel 38. They're going to be a part of, Russia's going to be a guard onto them when it comes down to destroy that land. Because the Lord is, according to biblical prophecy in Ezekiel 38th chapter, the Lord is going to use Russia to go to war with them. And if you notice in the interview, the dude mentioned that. He started throwing everything on Russia. But that's all part of biblical prophecy. Saying Russians are behind it, they're backing this up and they're doing this. That's ultimately the Lord is he's putting those hooks and he's pulling. He's pulling and pulling.
I saw an article today, this morning. They were saying that Russia is getting mad. I forget who it was that came out. He said, look, the United States, the people in America are already pushing this shit against us, saying that we are behind this. We're not behind this stuff, all right? And we're going to say it right now, if you keep pushing that propaganda, we're going to come see you niggas directly now. So now that tension is already building. It's been building. But now it's to the point where the smallest little thing could really escalate this thing, right? Now, it might not get nuclear right away, okay? It might not get nuclear right away, but we do know that they're already sending carriers out there. And guess what? Whenever they send those ships and carriers, something happens. What happens? Somebody's going to blow it up, and it's going to be, look, we gotta defend. World War I, same thing happened. World War II, same thing happened. Fucking U-boats and all that shit, right? Same thing. There's always something. Pearl Harbor, right? There's always something that, they blew up our shit. So now, why is your shit in there in the first place?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You set shit up, and then you get the reaction you're looking for, and then all of a sudden, look, this is why we need to come together and fight against the enemy. But who's the actual enemy? Who's the real ones setting all this shit up in the first place? See, now that's the information that everyone is aware of now, and it's making it hard for them to push their agenda. So they're gonna come after the truth, right? They're gonna come after those who are giving the word out to the people, and it all comes from the scriptures, So that word of the whole concept of anti this, anti-sem, whatever, that shit just popped off like what, 2016 or some shit. That's when it became known as you're disagreeing with the JJs, the small hats. Right. Prior to that, it was just anyone who was against anyone of the Semitic, what they call Semitic, but Shemitic descendant or line, But now they've turned it to become a thing where it's just them. Like, no. The world is waking up to your shit.
Yeah, because people don't look into the meaning of words or anything.
Yep.
Like you said, it's like you see a hole in the ground, you're gonna put your hand in there, and maybe a grass cutter bites it, and you want to nuke the shit. What was your hand doing there in the first place? Right. You had twiddling fingers in there. And he's seeing some shit moving. Of course he's gonna bite it. He's trying to say what's up.
He's defending his territory.
That's it.
What is this? This is an invading. Somebody's invading my shit.
Yeah.
I gotta defend.
You're a foreign invader.
Yeah.
And that's how viruses operate. When the virus invades your body, your body's gonna fight back, but the virus is like, all right, now let me replicate so I can kill you.
Right.
What happens if your immune system is like down? The virus is gonna kill you. Yeah. The virus ain't gonna come in there and say, let's cohabitate. Let me no. What happens when a virus takes over? You die. Right. That's the whole job. But let's jump to Ezekiel 38 because like you were saying, that the spirit kind of shifted over there. I got to put things in the go.
2nd Ezra 5:24, and of all lands of the whole earth, of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof one lily. Yeah, just showing you that land of Israel, they know how much of an importance that land, that particular plot is. like the brother was saying, in terms of trade. And also because they know that the real Israelites are supposed to be there. So they're trying to be us. But at the end of the day, Amalek, his own bloodlust and his own rage and violence is going to be his downfall. You know, he's so greedy that they set up all these situations. Amalek has even bombed U.S. ships, the USS Liberty. And they said he tried to blame it on Egypt. But then it came out that it was really them. Oh, it was a mistake. Whoops. They bombed the shit out of you. Whoops.
The U.S. gonna be like, yeah, no, it's definitely a mistake. It was definitely a mistake. We second that.
Just
That's
keep
what
sending
they
us
do.
aid.
Yeah.
They hit the hospital up, and then they try to blame it on the same people that they're committing genocide on.
Yep, exactly.
This man is just beyond wicked,
Reason.
man.
He's
He's
beyond
reason, and he's raging and foaming at the mouth.
Yep.
He's in that Antiochus spirit. Like,
Yeah, that's that Revelation 12 and 12.
Yep.
Because what they're doing is
Yep.
they keep looking for a catalyst that they can use. Because look, your options become more and more limited the more people wake up. That's why the scriptures say that there's going to be uproars of people around the world. The more and more people wake up, the less and less power you have. So they need a catalyst, you know, in order to, because if you're looking at what's going on, there's a lot more coming out of this than just war. You know, there's like propaganda, there's like domestic
New
terrorism,
laws.
agents,
Yeah.
new laws, all of these things that they're using this as a catalyst for.
And the
You know?
MOTV is still in process. Because
Yeah.
out there in Europe, they already got the CBDC
yeah.
program
Whatever,
already
yeah.
already picking up, ready to go.
And if you notice too, you know this is, first off, there's some other angle going on here because why haven't they already invaded Gaza? They said they was going to do a ground invasion on like last week Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, now the U.S. said they coming, so now we got to hold on over it. Oh, well, when we do, we going to do this. No. Something is going on over there. They just need to hype it up a bit
Yes.
and then slow down. But while it's at that height, they pull whatever they can pull from it.
They didn't get the initial shock reaction that they wanted from the world. They didn't get that. It's been very. It's like, hold on, we're expecting people to be bugging out, saying yes, send the aid, we stand with Israel, dude. I'm telling you, the news is reporting it. The consensus on the internet is reporting the same thing. That we have a big problem here. The people are not buying. They're not biting the shit we're selling them no more. What do we have to do? That's why Revelation 12 and 12 comes in, because now it has to be, all right, fuck it. All gloves are off. These people are aware. They know what's going on. It's not like, okay, we got to hide no more. Now we just got to come straight for them. We got to start with the prophets. We got to demonize them. But in the meantime, you got the rest of the people backing them up. So it's like, how do we go about it? We have to demonize. We're going to demonize them. And we're going to have to just come after everyone who just supports them. Because at this point, we can't just say, oh, it's a conspiracy theory and that's enough for people to stop talking about it. No, people actually going into it. You got average people talking about conspiracy theories now. Conspiracy theories.
Because that was real.
It's real. You know, people are questioning things like, yo, man, I don't know about this thing, man. This Gaza thing, man. Hey, bro, I'm like, what happened? We thought it was going to be like, the propaganda is going to pick up. We're going to be like, I got to be careful, we got to watch. Trust me, the majority of the people are against this whole bullshit. They
But
see
that's
it.
perfect because
That's
then
perfect.
they can institute something like, like they had the Spanish Inquisition.
Yep.
Where they,
Yep.
because at the end of the day, guess what? They're going to say, oh, you know what? Since everybody's against you, that's justification for us to implement some laws.
Yep.
Like there were certain books in certain countries that are banned, from happening. So with this, imagine a scenario where they say, oh wow, the public consensus is against X, Y, and Z. And because of that, they're going around like they did the Asian hate crimes, but they're going around attacking these people. They're going around doing this. Oh, as a matter of fact, a couple years ago, there was a Jersey city shooting where they targeted blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
There was this happened where they targeted yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
So now we can't just let this go on forever. We got to implement laws. Anybody that is caught, and then they start going back and saying, oh, you at one point made a comment like this. Let's come and investigate you. Let's put you on trial.
You
You're a
radicalized?
potential, are you radicalized?
Yep.
You're a potential X, Y, and Z. Because I think they did this during, was it World War II? They had them internment camps. They started rounding up people,
Yep,
even
World
if
War
they were on U.S. soil, throwing them in these camps. So they're gonna start throwing all these things at the wall, throwing all the shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. But chaos is coming, like the brother said. They're gonna come down with great wrath, one way or another.
That Israel is very so-called protected. They got the intelligence over there, the military shit they got. America doesn't send billions of dollars of so-called aid. When people hear that, they're thinking, oh, the people of Israel are actually going to be getting this aid. No. Don't get it wrong. These governments don't care about the people. They never have, they never will. Their jobs is to make sure that they police the people so these elites don't have any more issues. The governments are put in place for the people. Trust me, if politics and elections mattered, people would not be voting. They would not allow that shit. It doesn't matter. That's what they allow you to do. It's an illusion of choice.
Yep.
And it keeps you going. Oh, just vote. Next 4 years, we're gonna vote for something different, and then the same things happens, and it gets worse and worse for you. That's it. But again, these governments are all working together. When they send, I'm sending aid over here, and this, guess what? The people in Israel and Palestine right now, and in the land of Israel, or guess what? They're pushing back against their own government, telling Bibi, what's his name, to step down. You see, Netanyahu, step down. It's because of you. We're suffering because of you. Step down. You see? So when the people are suffering, your own people are suffering, then what we got to do? They want us to come and liberate them. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen. But they're going to be in slavery anyway. That's the reality of the truth. For all you other heathens, all you other nations, you out there fighting, doing all this extra shit. When the true biblical Israelites come into power, and it's coming very soon, you've seen some of us right now. When we come into power, and you start to see it now, the whole vibration is going to change. The whole entire vibration will change. And all this wickedness that you see going on will be stopped. Completely, just in an instant, just like that. Okay, but prior to that, people are going to suffer. Okay, including the Israelis. They're going to suffer. You saw what happened in 2020.
And that's according to biblical
Prophecy. All right, we're just giving you the warning so you can be prepared. All right, we're not the bad guys. We're just telling you ahead of time of what's to come, and it will come. Okay, now the world is waking up to it. You know, the Lord said, when these days come, what's that? Romans 13:11. Okay, for our salvation is nearer than when we believed. Okay, so these devils, they know. They know that they don't have that much time left. You see, and it's going to be bloodshed, but guess what? They don't care if their own people get crushed. All right? So that's the devil for you, man. The people are mourning, and they're mourning for a reason. It's always that way, the birth pains before the deliverance.
Right.
Okay, and that's the times that we're in now. There's another, there was mad earthquakes. I don't know if y'all saw it. Y'all saw it. There's been a lot of earthquakes lately, man.
That's what the Lord said.
The Lord said it in diverse places. You see? So the only thing psychologically or, mentally plausible is what? Okay, what are the next things that the Lord said will be happening? Those things that he said will be happening to look out for are happening now. So what's next? The next big thing is what? The MOTB. That's what's next. Okay? If everything is lining up to MOTB, then World War III, we're hearing the rumblings of World War III. The Lord said, well, when you hear these things, the end is not yet. Just hold on. We still got a little bit more to go. That little bit more to go is where we're about to enter into now.
Yep, the beginning of sorrow.
The beginning of sorrows.
Yep. And, the scriptures say, I got you. Like you said, that you know that his time is short, right?
Yep.
So that when you know your time is short, what do? You move fast. So they're going to move fast with this thing.
Yep. But then you get clumsy.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
I was going to say, just to bring in everything that y'all said, like the scripture says in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, the end is manifest. And when you go into the word manifest, it means clear, obvious, it's distinct, it's out there. So like you were saying, you had encounters with people that were saying, what? This is in the Bible. Why? Because what? It's obvious. Sometimes people say, oh, the Bible's, everything's in the Bible's coming true now. It's like the world's going to end. Why? Because they're seeing, although they don't know what we know, but it's obvious that what the scriptures say is true. What is that? Yeah, that precept just left me. There's a precept I was going to connect with that. I need a new point. But yeah, just to, on the point, it just everything manifest. Even when you go to that word sign, token, one of the synonyms for sign and token is also evidence. So the things that we're seeing right now is the evidence of what? That the scriptures is true. 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, that the words of the Lord is faithful and true.
Yep. That's where they're gonna start. That's like if we've been telling you, that guy's crazy for like the longest period of time, and you always, what do you mean? Yeah, we ain't no reason for you to say that. And then you just see him one day doing some wild, crazy ass joint, like like that episode from the Boondocks where Granddad was smoking marijuana naked, beating on those big ass drums and shit in his crib, and then the cops walking on his ass and shit. So if you catch him outside in the street corner, upstairs doing some shit like that, you go, oh shit, now I see why they said this guy really is crazy. Because you seen the evidence. See, so that's why people are now talking about conspiracy theories, because they're seeing the evidence of what we were telling them. The time is right here. You got that?
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Also, family members just reciting what you be saying.
Yeah.
I'm listening,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what? I used to tell you that. Now you saying what I'm saying to somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
They always been saying that.
Yeah. All right.
And really, this whole situation,
Yeah.
when it talks about a beast, it's not even an actual animal.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something you ain't know. It's talking about the system. Are you out here like,
What's this? What are you talking about? Go deeper. Let me
They go
hear.
in, you know, that's actually in the Bible. You know, if you didn't know that, that's in the Bible. You go to Revelation,
But where the revelation? They can't
where
tell you that.
Revelation,
They don't know too much.
it's
They
in
just
there
know.
though. It's in there though, you know. Well, since when?
It's crazy because you be the one that broke it down to them.
Right,
Then
right,
they
right.
come back
Yeah.
to you like, yo,
That's it. Yep.
yo, you know where you got that from, man.
And they scoffed at you when you said that.
Yeah.
How can this possibly be a
Exactly.
system? But
Exactly.
they breaking it down like they experts. You know?
You need to get into that Bible.
You gotta get it done anyway. That's it.
Hey, that's why the Apostle Paul said these last days, these people are gonna have the spirit of being what? Unthankful, you know, ungrateful, right? Malicious. You know, that's those are the attributes we see today. You know, and it's more now, it's more so now than ever before. Because now, of course, with the help of social media, everybody thinks everything is a joke. And that jokey energy is being brought into the real life. That's why you're starting to see people act stupid. It's like, what happened?
Right.
You know, people like it's so inappropriate sometimes. Like, yo, never have I ever seen people disregard the words of scriptures as much as I do today. You know, back then it was a sacred thing. The Bible has always been sacred. Now people come up and, oh, I know the white man wrote that. Like, hold on, bro. Do you understand what you just
No
said?
reasoning.
Yeah. Like that's the words of the Heavenly Father, the God of the universe. He these are his words. Like, it's not something you can take lightly. But we hear it so much, it's like whatever. But these people are about to be judged. Okay, because the warning went out. That's why we were sent. That's our main purpose. The Lord said, I'm going to send my men out there these last days to speak to you, to warn you. And it's going to be in a very short span. 40 years, 50 years, 60 years to the Lord is nothing. And to the person, that's a lot of time. But guess what? That's a very short time in a scheme of prophecy.
Yeah.
If you have 50 years or 60 years before the missiles drop and this whole place is completely decimated, that's a very short time.
Yeah.
That's going to be happening in your lifetime. And for the most part, the majority of the people today, guess what? You're going to live to see the destruction of America, Babylon the Great. Because it's written that way. The Lord said he's going to keep you in this land.
I mean,
Somebody got to
these are-
fulfill that prophecy.
You're right. It's just a
Okay?
bunch of-
When the deliverance has happened, the destruction is happening too.
Yeah.
So who's going to be the one being destroyed? These so-called Christians think that we all going to be saved. Well, who's getting delivered? And who's being destroyed? The
Well,
judgment
they
day,
say no.
judgment day. What's that?
They think they see it now.
The rapture.
Yeah.
This guy, what's this guy? Paul and Adrian, off grid desert farming. I've been watching him, and he's just completely gone. But he brings out good information. When it comes to scriptures, though, that's where he messes up.
That's it.
You know, because whatever. But he's thinking, oh, if we're not raptured out, then I don't know what we're gonna do. I said, what are you talking about? Raptured out where? Like, Jesus freak. Talking about he got long hair. Talking about Jesus had long hair. Yeah, I said, boy, look at you.
What scripture is that?
They don't go into scriptures. You got a female coming up talking madness, you know, and you watch her, you just be like, bro, she didn't bring out not one precept. One precept. Just stick to the news, bro. Just keep bringing out the news. We'll do the rest.
Oh, I was gonna mention going into that whole rapture thing, or I think like the pre-tribulation. If you think about it, let's just use this is what 2023, or let's just say next year, right? Let's say all hell breaks loose next year, rapture happens, right? Let's use this year. Right? Okay, whatever year, right? It'll be 2020, 2030, 2031. That gives you what? A time frame on what? You know when the Lord is coming back. But what do the scriptures say? No man knoweth the hour or the day. So what do you come up with this pre-tribulation rapture or this 7-year thing?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah.
Nobody knows the hour of the day. So it's like,
It's like, how do you come up with that?
right, because if it happens 2024, that means, you know, 7 years later, he's going to come back or something like that.
Exactly.
So that means what? That gives you time to get right. But the Lord don't want that.
Nope.
He wants you to be sincere.
Yep. And he's giving you ample time, and he's giving you ample amount of men. You can't say you didn't hear this word. This word is all you hear on the internet, because that's the only thing that people actually want to pay attention to. There's too much controversy there for you not to want to tune in. All right, the Lord always uses controversy to bring out the truth and to wake up his elect. That's how most of us came into his truth. It was through controversy. You know, something controversial. Oh, the topic on this or the topic of that. And you go into it, and then the truth comes out of it, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's where I belong. I got to go over there for some more of that. This is some information I've never heard before. The scriptures talk about what? The mysteries being revealed to us. Okay, what? Amos 3:7? That surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto who? His servants, the prophets. And what do? It's not that, oh, now we know the secret, so we have our own inner Illuminati. We got the secret. No. The secret is what? The mysteries of the scriptures. Go out there and teach it to the rest. That's the mission. Okay? Whether they hear or whether they forbear, go out there and give them the word. Because it's imperative that they hear it. Because when I'm bringing that judgment, thus saith the Lord, when he's bringing that judgment, there'll be no mercy. It's the time of judgment, right? So if you're in that time, you're going to receive that judgment. Now, if you're excluded from that judgment, Ezekiel the 9th chapter, right? The Lord will make you exempt from that judgment. You see? But when that judgment comes, as it's written in Revelation the 14th chapter, whoever is over there, you're going to be partaking in that lake of fire, man. That's the result of disobedience. Okay, and that's where America is fat. You know, you got the racetrack. America's first in line. She's faster than Usain Bolt right now, about to cross that line of destruction. She's going straight forward to it. And the second behind her is Israel. You know what I'm saying? So they headed straight forward to a war that they can't
What are
win.
they holding hands?
They're holding hands.
And they
Hey, skipping and singing and stuff like that.
Is one of your red cars yours?
Yeah.
Do you mind? I figured out.
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem.
How long will you be here for?
Oh, next probably a couple more hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
I moved my car because at 3 I have to leave for an important meeting. I don't want to be.
Oh yeah, no
We'll
problem.
be right
yeah.
here whenever you need to move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so-
got to move right now?
No. Well, I would move it over there, so I'm not because here it had often happened to me that I get blocked in.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a parking over there. I'm just gonna move it over
no
there.
problem. No problem.
Oh, it's clear. Yeah. So let's go into that. Ezekiel 38. No. So, we're moving up. We gotta, you can write it.
No, I-
All right, go ahead.
Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog.
Now, who is God and Magog in prophecy? That's talking about Russia. Okay, the region today known as Russia. That's who he's talking about over there. All right, go ahead. So it says, set thy face against them, right? Against the land. So the Lord is telling Ezekiel, face this region, this direction. Okay, and then what? Right?
The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him.
So face this direction and prophesy against her. Okay, start speaking concerning the future, things that are going to involve Russia. Okay, go on.
And say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn.
So say that the Lord say He's against you. Why you just go? Why you just get it? Because somebody else might just come and ask you to take the spot. What?
And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
Right, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And those hooks are these events going on right now. Because the job of the hooks is to turn Russia in a certain direction, right? When you're going in one way and there's hooks put into your jaws, that's to turn you, that's to hook you. Like when you're reading a story, right? There's some part of it called the hook. And the hook is supposed to get you in. It's supposed to reel you in, right? The second you read that part, you're like, oh, let me find out a bit more about what's going on over here. You good? Yeah. You know? So what the Lord is doing is He's putting hooks into their jaws and He's turning them. What spirit is He turning them into? That warlike spirit, right? So go on.
And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And I'll bring thee forth.
And the Lord is doing that by way of these events that are going on. By everybody constantly pointing the finger at Russia. Russia is this, Russia is that, Russia is this, Russia is that. Y'all did this, y'all did that. Accusing them, setting them up, like provoking them. Okay, that's what the hooks are doing. Go ahead.
And all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed in all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
And that's going into their armies, right? their armies with their military might and all that good stuff. Okay, go ahead. They're gonna
Persia,
come with the latest artillery. All the stuff they've been showcasing and testing, they gonna come ready with that. All right, the Satan and Satan 2 and all of that. Yeah, go on.
Persia, Ethiopia,
Because Persia is talking about the Iranians, and that's why Iran is a key member in prophecy, Bible prophecy, concerning this World War III. Okay, so it says these armies are going to come with Russia, and then it lists who? Iran, right? Which are the Persians. Go on.
Ethiopia,
Go ahead.
and Libya.
Which are these African nations. Go on.
With them, all of them, with shield and helmet.
And that's their military might. Okay, their armor, their arsenal, they all gonna bind together with Russia. And the thing is, you got Russia up north, you got Ethiopia and Libya down south. Who's in the middle? You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna bring out, since I mentioned those three, if you just Google search it, right? I'm just I have to do it separately for each, but I just put in Google Russia and Libya relation, right? Now it just has here, it says, this is off of Wikipedia, but I'm just reading this little paragraph they have here. It says, Russia has an embassy in Tripoli, I don't know if you understand that, Tripoli, with Libya having an embassy in Moscow. Diplomatic contact between Russia and Libya has generally been close and productive, seeing as both countries have had and continue to see volatile relations with the United States.
So a common enemy, right?
I'm gonna go to the other ones.
And the thing is, people think that world events are just happening at random. You know, oh, this just happened. Like, why did it happen? You know, why did it happen? What caused that? Why didn't it happen another way? Why? And anybody that's listening should say, yo, low key, like the things that are happening are like going in a certain direction, in the same direction these people have been talking about. They always talk about, you know, the leads. They talk about, you know, the Iranians. They talk about Russia, and all of a sudden now Russia's up in this, you know, Ukraine is in here. They talking about Hezbollah and what's going on. This just sounding like, and now we telling you that, as the scriptures say, as we're about to read, Turkey is going to be on the side of Russia, and you know Turkey, you know they already voicing saying, look, y'all need we're not supporting the leads in this one.
Yep.
You know, nor the U.S. If the U.S. do some stupid shit, you're gonna find out. And now I think last year or 2 years ago, there was some event, there was some situation that happened where basically they were basically giving a warning to Turkey, even though they were part of NATO.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you pretty much the bottom of this, and you causing trouble. You better watch yourself. You know, and Turkey has relations with Russia. Go on. So what we're reading right here, this is end time biblical prophecy. And the time of these prophecies coming to pass is now. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah,
And that's up there in Turkey, modern day Turkey today. Okay, in the ancient world, it's known as Asia Minor.
And the bands is going into their armies.
Their armies,
That's
yep.
another way of saying armies.
That's right.
Because I believe in the book of Acts it talks about even
The Italian band.
the Italian band with Cornelius, yeah. So the Italian band was just a sect or a part of
Roman army.
the Roman army.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's correct. That's correct.
Can I read it in the NLT real quick?
Of course you can.
Ezekiel 38:6, Gomer and all its armies
There you go.
will also join you, along with the armies of Beth Togarmah from the distant north and many others.
There you go. There you go. And it's north of the land of Israel. Okay? Go ahead.
Ezekiel 38:6. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah,
So you're gonna have the armies in Turkey and in those northern regions, Armenia, Azerbaijan, you know, all those different regions over there. Go ahead. They're gonna come with their armies
of
Go
the
ahead.
north quarters,
of the north quarters, because those are the countries in the north region of the land of Israel. Okay? And this is going to happen. Look forward to that. When this thing really heats up, you're going to start to see those armies of those different nations banding up together, forming these strong alliances. Go on.
and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself.
So remember that in the beginning, the Lord told Ezekiel to speak to Magog, or God, the chief prince, the God of the land of Magog, which is the Russians today. Okay, because this is an end time prophecy. So he's speaking, when he says the, is referring to Russia, right? So he's saying, you're going to have all these people that are going to come along with you, right? Go on, read that again.
Which one?
The verse you just read.
Verse 6. Gomer and all his bands,
So you're going to have those armies going.
the house of Togama of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
And many people with you. So you're going to have a large amount of armies with you, right? Go on.
Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
So Russia is going to be like the superpower of that alliance. Okay, the top dog. Because Russia's military is pretty fearsome,
Their technology,
You know?
is
Yeah,
next,
that shit.
next to none.
along with China. You know, so they're gonna be on that front, and as it says, Russia's gonna be a guard unto them. So they're gonna be in an alliance, right?
And they were built that way. Even Russia, I mean, Putin came out and said that the technology that they have, they're even astounded with how they came up with it. He said it's God's weapon or something like that. You know, the Most High gave them the ability to come up with these things, and it's not for any purpose but to destroy America. All right, it's an evil purpose set against America. That's
And
what
also
Lord
the
said.
land of Israel.
And the land of Israel, yeah, exactly. But again, the land of Israel is going to be a part of the valley of Jehoshaphat. That all that heat right there, they're going to partake in that. But specifically out west, it ain't going to be Canada or Mexico or any of these countries out west. It's going to be America's destruction out west is going to happen from a country from out east through the
From
power
one
of
end
the
of heaven to the other.
to the other. Exactly.
We're gonna be licking off shots.
You see, but you got the regular frozen avocado head ass American over here who does not think of these things as a threat. They think, oh, Russia is all the world. They can't get here.
Right.
Bro, do you know what? Man, you people, bro. Shit.
Go on.
Verse 8. After many days thou shalt be visited.
And that many days is talking about in this time, you know, because at the time when Ezekiel was saying this, that wasn't the time when this prophecy was going to be fulfilled. So the Lord is saying, tell them this now, but in the future, you're going to be visited. Meaning, and when you look into that word, it means you're going to be appointed to come and do something. Meaning your time to fulfill certain tasks is going to be up. We're going to wake you up to do something.
Hey, that's in Revelation where it says that the Lord is going to dry out the Euphrates to prepare the ways
Make
of
the way of the
kings.
ready, yep.
Right, and he says what? That he's going to work on the minds of the kings.
That's it.
So that's what's happening.
That's it. You got it.
You know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I could read that same verse, like the first two sentences in the NLT.
You can definitely do that.
It says, Ezekiel 38 and 8 in the NLT, it says, a long time from now, you will be called into action. In the distant future, you will swoop down on the land of Israel.
There you go. So I mean so it's prophecy, right? We know it's not historical because there was what historical account at the time, you know, because when you look at history, that region was really occupied by like the Scythians, right? So when did the Scythians ever come down? Because who would have been dwelling in the land of Israel then? It would have been us. And that means it would have been recorded in the scriptures if the Scythians ever came down, or that whole northern region, you know, Asia Minor and all of them, Cappadocia, Laodicea, Ephesus, all of them banded together and they came down and took over us. No, that never happened. So that's a prophecy that needs to take place, and it hasn't happened yet. In the distant future means now. That's why the tensions between them are spiking.
Did we see that prophecy that it happened prior to or post 1948? That's what we want to do.
Right.
Since you guys are real people, everything is going to go back to 1948. You got to know what was happening prior to that, and prior to 1948, let's say 1945 or 1920, who was living in that land? Who was recognized as the people of the Most High in that land? Because we were in there.
Right.
So what was happening there? So there's a lot of questions that you guys are gonna have to get real answers. Not no anti-Semitic whatever. We don't want to hear that shit. Nobody, the world doesn't want to hear that shit.
They're just gonna start dishing out threats.
The exact and then you're gonna expose yourself even more for the devil that you really are. That everything we saying is gonna come to pass.
Which the word devil means deceiver.
Deceiver. Really means what? A false accuser.
False accuser.
Exactly, and that's what they're gonna do.
That's it.
You know.
That's it. Go ahead. You got something?
Yeah, I was going to add also to your point, like you were saying, about how all those, let's say that happened back then, right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this Ezekiel was like 30 years after the captivity, if I'm not mistaken. So think about it. All these nations that come band together and come down, you need to remember, the Babylonians have control over Jerusalem and also their region. So it's like, well, if you come down on them, it's like, yo, you coming on our area. It's like, yo, we got control of these people. Chill out. So it's like, don't you think that there would be a war between the Babylonians and all these nations? Wouldn't that be recorded as well?
Yep. Yeah, because see, those regions were always occupied. It was occupied by the Babylonians and the Medes, then the Persians, and then the Greeks, and then the Romans. So at what point did this take place that we didn't see? Oh, really, it was when the Romans gave us power with Pompey. He came down in there. Well, then they should have had allies from Egypt, right?
Yeah.
And Libya,
Yep.
and Ethiopia,
Yep.
and the Persians.
Yep.
But the Romans were against the Persians. They
Yep.
were known as the Parthian Empire.
Yep.
They constantly had war
Yep.
going back and forth.
Yep.
See, we know history, so we can tell you that no, this didn't happen in history. You know? And that's why they try to come from different like Jacob Rothschild's country.
I was just thinking that when he was passing, I'm like, this guy,
Oh,
he
shit.
got the Klaus Schwab neck
That's
and the
it.
Jacob Rothschild nose.
That's snob. That's why. That's it. Yeah, but they try to come from here. They try to come from here. But we don't just get up on we don't just get up and say, you know what, just you still I mean nowadays some people do that, right? They just throw on a garment and go out there, and then they get confounded and look stupid. No, before you come out here, like Apostle Hall was saying, before you say that you're ready to join a camp, you got to know how to teach. You got to be ready and able and apt to teach, as the scripture said. And in order to do that, to build that confidence, you got to study. If you're going to teach, you got to know what you're going to teach. You can't just hop. You haven't seen a professor come into the class and he's just here like, all right, well, I'm here just like you. You know, the professor has to know what they're going to teach. They got to have their slides, their PowerPoints, and the PowerPoints are talking points to remind them, okay, hit this point, hit this point, hit this point. But if you ask a question, they got to be able to answer it. Or else they shouldn't be teaching.
Right. And at the end of it all, the professor's goal is whatever content I'm teaching, you should understand it.
Correct.
That's why the Lord set up men to teach,
Right.
not women. Right? The Lord never set women up to go teach any man. It doesn't work that way. That's straight up confusion. That's not the role of women. It's the role of specific men, not just any old man. Right? How many people you know are professors? It's a very select few.
Yeah.
Right? Every job, every occupation, every career, you have a select few people that are built for it.
Exactly.
The same thing with prophets. There are select few men, specific spirits that are created, even in the spirit world, that are built to be the prophets of the Lord.
Yeah.
These men, these spirits are susceptible to the word of the Heavenly Father. They can get it, they can understand it, and then they can what? Go teach it. Not everyone can do that. You got people who could hear the word, but what about those who teach it? Right? In Revelation, the first chapter, let me pull that up real quick just so I don't butcher it.
If you throw a woman in there, she's going to... You ever been in a class where you had a female professor and she dressed a certain kind of way?
Right.
And then forget what's writing on what's going on the board.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You ain't paying attention to shit. And they know exactly what they're doing. It's a real real case. They know exactly what they're doing. Or then the next day they come in and they're on their monthly cycle, so everybody getting an F in the class.
Right.
But
Right.
I got other questions right. You want to go to the principal's office?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
man,
Teaching on emotions.
need some consistency.
Right. Right. That's what you gotta have an academy.
That's it.
Right, which is where the whole concept of schools and all that came from.
Backyard of somebody.
Plato's garden was known as the academy.
Yep.
Right, but there's a book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 3. Actually, start that one. The revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach, which the Most High gave unto him to shew unto his servants, right, Amos 3 and 7, his servants, things which must shortly come to pass. Right? Shortly come to pass, meaning when the time that it starts to the time that it ends is a very short time. Okay, and then also when it happens, it's going to happen at rapid fire.
No, that's spiritual, right? Because that's why he was able to see when he loosed the seals, right? It says that the Most High gave him those revelations
Right.
to give to us,
To us.
right? And
Right.
that's why nobody could, because we wouldn't have those revelations if the Lord didn't give it to us.
Didn't exactly.
A lot of prophecies concerning these end times are really in here. But in addition to that, the Lord sent us the Rakah Kodesh, which gave us the understanding of all the other parts in the book
Put it together.
to put it together.
There you go.
So the Lord set the pieces there, and then He gave us because we got a puzzle, right? One crucial aspect of the puzzle is what picture the puzzle is actually supposed to imitate or look like. So when the Lord gave us the understanding, we had the pieces, but now we know what picture we're supposed to be putting together. Oh, this precept goes with that, because then that's how you get the face. This precept goes with that, that's the foot. And then eventually you form the whole board. See?
And and you know what's crazy? One thing about solving puzzles is the closer you are to the end, the clearer the picture becomes.
That's it.
Because now you put all the
Start
pieces
solving
together. You
faster.
start solving it. Oh, this goes to pass me that.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. You know, that's what we're doing. So now we're fine tuning the understanding of the prophecies. You know, because back then you could think, okay, well they're going to attack this and it's going to happen. But now you're seeing it play out. You're like, oh, I see why it says this, because now it opens up the way for that to happen. Oh, that's what. Oh, got it. And the Spirit just keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. Because why? The Lord said what? Things which must shortly come to pass, he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Right.
Signify, meaning what? Through signs. Okay? The word, when you go to the word signify, the first few words, first few letters, sign.
Right.
Okay, so the Lord teaches and shows through what? Through signs. He speaks through signs. And the biggest form of a sign is see the prophets.
That's right.
That's the first sign of, oh shit, prophecy is about to be spoken.
Correct.
See, now we got to listen. And then you hear what the signs and the meaning of the signs, and then you go into the signs itself, which means that, okay, whatever was said to happen is now happening.
Right.
Okay? Verse 2, it says, who bear record of the word of the Most High, and of the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach, and of all things that he saw. Right? So it was revealed unto him. Okay? To be revealed to the rest of the churches, ultimately to the elect in today's day and age.
And it was given to Yahushua to give to him.
Boom.
So that's why Yahushua said even he doesn't know when the hour is going to be.
Exactly.
So if you notice, he didn't tell John when exactly this was going to happen, right?
Nope. He gave
The
him
Lord
a,
didn't give that to him.
right? He gave him a timeline, right, of when to look for certain things, but not the specific day, because he doesn't know.
Right.
Right?
And it says the end.
It says the end. And then, what did he say? He said, because Yahushua would never tell us something that's not true. Because he said, in my Father's house are many mansions.
If it were not so, I would.
There you go. Right? So everything he's told us, we know and we believe because it's true. Okay? Verse 3, blessed is he that readeth, comma, and they that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So two, blessed is he that readeth, right? Those who are speaking and teaching, right? And they that hear the word. So it's two parts, right? So you have the speakers, the teachers that are inspired by the Lord to go out there and teach the word, and you have those who are going to be listening. So going back to the point of everyone has a role to play. You got the role of the prophets to prophesy. And you have those who are there to listen. You got those who are there to come against the prophets, right? You got those who are being spoken against by the prophets, right? So many different roles, right? But it all plays a perfect part in this movie. Okay, our job is to what? Is to break it down step by step to show you and navigate through the prophecies of Yahweh Shemiel Shai. Because it's been given to his men. To what? To teach it to the rest of the elect. All right, ultimately to bring the nation back. You know?
Right. Tell them nothing, guys.
Also, when you go into that word, read it, I'm trying to say it's a bit of a agnosko. And it says, reading doesn't also just mean read, but also says to distinguish between, to know accurately. So what? We know the proper understanding, the proper breakdown of the scripture. That's why if we hear some bullshit, we'll be like, nah, that's not it. That's not it, how it's really supposed to be. Or I believe that was, I forgot which disciple with the Ethiopian eunuch who was like, understand without readers, it was Philip. Right, how would he be able to tell him? Because what? It described to him the object. Because he knew what it was about.
And scripture say, rightly dividing the word of truth.
What was the word in there? Or the Greek word?
I'm just gonna play it.
Strong's G314. Anagnosko.
Oh, it's a different word. Okay. But ultimately, oh, you want to say something?
Yeah, so I don't mean to interject.
No, you good.
But conosco is to know in
Boom, I was
Spanish.
about to say that. That's it. That's good.
All right, so where we at?
Ezekiel 38.
That's right.
Ezekiel 38:8. After many days, thou shalt be visited.
See, and this here's the thing, right? When these things start happening, people gonna actually try to search the scriptures because they're gonna work. All right, what is actually happening, and what do we do? Like, what's gonna happen next? Because now they're saying that Russia just did this. What's gonna happen next? They're gonna search, but you ain't gonna know. First off, even if you gonna probably skim over Ezekiel 38 and not know what's going on over there.
That goes into that word right there. It's more than just it's about understanding what you're reading, right?
Which only comes by way of the Holy Spirit.
I believe there's another Christian, Isaiah
28 and
28:9.
There's all visions become as a book that is sealed.
Yeah.
Where he left up to a man in the city. Yeah, I think it's 28 and somewhere close to 11 or so.
You say Ezekiel?
Isaiah 28. Isaiah. All visions become like as a something that is sealed. and they deliver it to one and say, here, read it. Either 28 and 11 or like 28 and 28 or 18 or 26 and 11.
There's also one in Isaiah 24.
29 and 11.
I think it's also Isaiah 24 where it says there's crying for wine in the streets. People gonna be crying for understanding like, yo, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. And you actually can, now once again, you gotta visualize that. You know? Like, yo, what's happening? Yo, bro, what's going on? You know, like when something happens and there's like a crazy ass traffic jam, like imagine if everybody was like on a regular day on the highway, right? And all of a sudden there was just like loud boom, and then everything just shook. And you just hear cars going off, and then people stop. Beep, beep, beep. People gonna start getting out their car. Somebody's gonna get out the car, try to go all the way to the front to see what's happening. You know, you stay here. You tell your wife, you stay here. You know, they gonna go, yo, what's going on, man? Nah, I don't know. Somebody poking their head out the car and shit, looking around. You know, and then in other areas, you gonna have people going around like, hey, wait, excuse me. You know what's going on? Like, they're gonna be crying looking for answers. You know. Did you find Isaiah, right?
Yeah,
29, okay.
Bring that up.
Yes, sir.
Isaiah 29 and 11. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed.
Right, so they take it to someone else to understand because like, yo, I can't understand what's in there. Right? It's the same thing going back to where, damn, I struggle to say that word, agnosko. But so I'm Caribbean, we got speech, but it basically goes into more than just reading. You gotta understand what's also in the scripture. It's the same thing like with Revelation 13:16. People can't get past this. It's a small device. It's more, you gotta go into the Greek, you gotta go into the Hebrew to also understand. It's more than just reading pages on a book and things like that. Like we were going into earlier with what was it, the king, how things happen over through a process of time. But people just read through skip, and it's like, oh, it's just a word. I remember actually waiting for the truth, trying to read the Bible. And I was like, man, I don't know, like, okay.
Yep. I remember when we used to go into Revelation.
Yeah, I got 3 minutes in. And I'm thinking, because I remember when I was younger, I was thinking, yo, everybody talking about this Bible is mad difficult.
Yep.
Let me see what's up with that. Man, I'm opening the thing, I'm like, I thought it was just like one book. I'm like, Jeremiah, Daniel, what's going on? So I jumped to Jeremiah. I'm reading some stuff in. Nah, let me see Revelation. What's going on here? So I'm in here. I'm like, that's the part about the beast. Okay, all right, the pit, the bottomless pit. I'm thinking, okay, so there's actually a pit in Rome somewhere, and this beast gonna come out. Okay, all right. I come to him. I'm like, yo, that's the revelation. The pit, the beast gonna come out. He's like, man, if you don't get your ass out of here, talking about something, he's coming out. I was confused as shit.
I got as far as to like the flood, and I was like, I read something. That's all I know. I read something.
Confused as hell, man. But now it's like it's so. I mean, we know it to the point where we know what book to go to, what part of the book to go to. Like Isaiah 20, 29, 11, right? You thinking now I know it's in Isaiah somewhere,
Right.
but to be able to go from not knowing what the scripture's talking about to be able to pinpoint exactly what book, chapter, and verse a specific topic is in. And we do that for everything we talk about. So it shows you that we know the scriptures, but even these so-called scholars that have studied this so much, they can't quote it and go into it like we can because of the Holy Spirit. You know, that's what's allowing us to maneuver. You know why I remember 29? It wasn't because of me. Science just popped in my head and said 29. That's why when you heard I said 29. 29 is in the 11s, right? Angels, you know, they're around and they popping into your head. When you speak, and the same thing goes when you speak. Not only is it what verse to go to, right? But it's also what to speak on. Because, hey, first off, we're going to these same verses over and over and over again and have different lessons. I say different things about it.
Yeah, I remember when we first woke up to this truth. I used to, that was one thing that always fascinated me. I see brothers out there every week. I'm like, yo, they say different things every week, but they bring out the same precepts. I'm like, do they plan this? Like, who plans this? This is like the most organic planning I've ever seen.
Right.
Like brothers like, oh, give me this, give me that, and I'm like, how do you do this? How do you remember all these precepts? How do you know?
Where do you store it?
Get this, get this, and get me that. I'm like, do you sit home and plan all this? I mean, there's no way. All these like, yo, you watch, like, even watching the apostles, for example, right? They get out like at least 150 precepts in 2 hours.
Right.
Just when you watch it, like, because sometimes I did it. I've done it many times. I'll pull out a notebook, and every precept they bring out during that lesson, 2 hours or so, I write it all down. And by the time I'm done, I flip like 3 pages. Because sometimes it might be 4 or 5 precepts to back up one point.
Yep.
And you gotta write all them shits down.
Yep.
Not shits, but write all them precepts down.
Verses, yeah.
And then go over it after
Study.
camp is up. You go over it, you go back into the scriptures, you highlight whatever you need to highlight, you study the whole thing, you read it, you watch the video over again. Oh, this part right here. There might be a part where you just you bookmark it. I'll come back to this. You know, and then you go back and delve more into it. Oh, yo, the apostle was talking about this. There was some history stuff. All right, let me go back and do some research. Yo, there's a lot that goes into studying the word.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like you just get up and now you're in the street corners teaching. No, the Lord has to give you.
That's how you get that, brother. Brother, we don't want no trouble, brother.
Yeah, because you go.
No, brother. No, brother.
Yeah, you gonna open your mouth and curse somebody and say, hey, you gonna walk with the devil? Somebody walking with his woman, you gonna open up
So
your
that's
mouth
his
and
enemy.
is an enemy. And then he turn around and say, yo, I'll rock this shit. And then now it's like,
So I don't play that. You know? I die for this.
Yeah, I die for this.
Brother, no, brother, we don't want that, brother. So you shouldn't have said it in the first place.
Yeah. You know? But you're not walking in wisdom.
And I was going to land back off your point. I remember specifically there was a camp where Apostle Elder Tahar said, we're going to bring out 1,000 cuts today.
Oh shit.
And it was like, brother, precept after precept, it was like a clinic, like a boxing clinic.
That's it.
And hey, we learned from the best, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah. That's how we're able to come out and teach so apt, you know, and it's the spirit ultimately.
It is the Rakah Kodesh.
Certain as a precepts, I remember believe Yahweh Shai said, the Holy Spirit put your remembrance, teach you all things.
Yep, that's how you do it. And you gotta go with these precepts. You know, that's why it's important to study. That's one aspect that a lot of people try to skip.
Yeah.
You try to just go to the speaking and skip the reading.
Can't.
What are you gonna speak on?
You can't.
If you don't know, if you haven't read, what are you gonna go out there and teach?
How do you have confidence in what you're saying?
Exactly.
You don't know what you're
because
talking
what they do is they try to regurgitate what they've heard. You know, oh, this precept, oh, that's the okay, let me read that and repeat what I no. You gotta study the scriptures. The videos that you hear, that's like a guide, a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
But if you go off just a cheat sheet, you're not gonna really pass the test. Because what if a different question comes on with the same formula though? You know?
Things you gotta show how you got your
Yeah, show your work. That's when you get messed up, right? Answer equals this.
Here a little and there a little.
That's it.
Right.
It's add up and it might be the same point, but it might be different.
Exactly. Yep. And you, when you study, you're able to break down and tie it in differently. You know, but you still make the same point. That's how you know, okay, you understand what's going on. You're able to give examples. Because in order to give an example on a point, you need to really understand the point.
Right.
To know what's the best example to really emphasize this point that I'm making here. So that's why examples are very good. You know, in class, somebody's teaching you a concept. Once they get to the example, you see how the concept is practical, how it ties in. You know? So that's why it's important. You got to actually study these scriptures. You know, what you come and see on camera is the result of hours of work behind the camera.
Days,
You know,
months,
days, you know,
years.
studying. The apostles will tell you, man, they had the marathon classes.
yeah.
You go out for like 10 hours and then come back and do like an overnight session studying. But you know why they were able to do it? Because the spirit was on. You know, it's like when you get a new video game and you playing Breaking Night 2-3 days straight playing this game. That's how it is when you're doing this. You know a lot about that. Huh? I'm gonna find out too. But you know, and that's like how Ezra was able to continually speak because the Lord lit a fire in his spirit.
The Apostle Paul.
The Apostle Paul, yeah. You know? So we're dealing with some very high level supernatural activities going on over here on the right hand side. You know? What we're actually doing whenever we give praises to the Most High and we start going into it, the Spirit of the Lord actually comes upon us. You just don't see it, but it actually comes upon us. Because like the brother said earlier, we don't rehearse any of this. Brother asked me in the car on the way here, which he does like every Saturday. Hey, so what we going into today? Not telling this, we're going to go into what the Spirit gives us. So when we get here, it's like, what's the title? Whatever. Sometimes right then and there, the Spirit says, all right, just give it this. Freestyle. And sometimes you may go into something that's not in the title, you know, because the Spirit is like the wind. You go into what the Lord wants you to go into at that point. That's what we just read in Ezekiel 38. That's an example. The Lord told him, look, son of man, set your face over here and prophesy and say this. You know how that happens today? Implicitly. So everything we're doing now, the Lord is telling us, look, go out there and say this. But you're finding out by us actually saying it. You ain't gonna see the Lord saying, all right, now say this. now say that. Okay, now say this. That's what the angels are doing. They're angels here right now that are saying the next brother that has a point right now, the angel's gonna put it into his mind. Oh, I got a precept. That's an angel that put it into his mind. What I'm saying right now, the angel's put in my mind to say. Because guess what? 2 hours ago, I didn't even know I was gonna say anything related to this. But it's the Spirit of the Lord. That's an angel. That's an angel.
I have an example. When you read Isaiah the 60th chapter, and Isaiah is going through basically the kingdom, I believe it's like the 4th verse, maybe the 5th verse, where he talks about a chariot. And it's like, hold on, you talking about the kingdom of heaven, but then you just talk about a chariot out of nowhere. It's like, what is that? Like, how do you just switch up like that? But that's what happened.
Like he said, because he's seeing these things. He's like, who are these? You know, that are flying as, you know, like, as doves to the whatever the verse said.
They say when we come out here on the Saturday, you got other camps that we didn't respond with that come out with the same topic, and it's on the spirit. It's on the spirit.
Yeah, we all said that we must be the same thing.
Yeah, we go home, we watch the film, we like, yo, they said the same thing you were saying.
Same thing. Yep. Same thing. Yeah. It's the Spirit of the Lord, because it's one Spirit. You know, it's one Spirit. So if there's a certain point, hey, sometimes a brother brings out a precept that another brother already brought out. Yeah. And we were all here when it came out. Yep. For some reason, it's like you never heard it when it came out. But that's because the Spirit wants it to come out again. See, so we don't try to force the Spirit in any direction. The Spirit takes us. You know, the Lord wants this to be spoken on, that's what we're going to speak on. The Lord wants this to come out, then that's what's going to come out. Then we just read that the word of the Lord doesn't come back void. Who hath resisted his will?
Yeah. Jeremiah 20:9. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name.
So what's Jeremiah saying? He said, Lord, you deceived me. This ain't easy. This ain't fun. I'm done. No, I'm fine. I'm done. You know, I'm not doing this no more. And then what happened? I will not make mention of his name. I ain't saying nothing no more.
He was catching so much help from his own people. Because Jeremiah was a Levite from the land of, from the city of Anathoth in the land of Benjamin. So he was, and I believe that was the descendants of Aaron who was given that city in the time of Joshua. So he was just catching nothing but help from Jake. So he's like, man, I'm tired of doing this. Like, I can't. It's sometimes that kind of spirit, even if Jeremiah was susceptible, then any of us, that could happen.
Right.
Hey, that's why Yahushua said what? That
Spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. As an angel.
You get weak sometimes, you know, and you got to rebuke it. But look what he says after that. But his word was in mine heart as a burning fire.
Now, this is an example of who have resisted his will. See, Jonah tried to do this in the other way. Where he said, I'm gonna just run. I'm gonna go in the opposite direction of where you want me to go. Where did he end up? Where the Lord wanted him to go. So who has resisted his will? And he got there quicker, yeah. And he was in hell for a minute, so he thought about that. You know, the Lord said, I'm gonna make you want to go prophesy. And he was pissed off. After he prophesied, he was mad as hell.
Yeah, he was tight. Yeah.
He said, ain't gonna be destroyed.
Yeah.
What?
And then the Lord brought like a little gourd. Blessed him the son, and the Lord did. He got mad as hell.
He said the sun beat on his head.
Oh, Jonah. But you know, a lot more happened in Jonah's lifetime than the 4 chapters we have here. Because even Tobit speaks about it, how he was prophesying about all these different things. But yeah, you can read about that part.
But his word was in my heart as a burning fire.
Heart meaning his mind. So it was like, you ever just wanted to sit? Let me give you an example. Let me give you a good example. Somebody is making a pointless argument with you. Like your woman is trying to start some shit with you. And she's just like trying to, like, you like today I ain't even gonna get into it with her. But she just says that one thing that's just so wrong. And it's just like, it's just triggering. You can't hold yourself. You gotta say something back to her like, yo, why do you always gotta do shit like this, you know? At the wrong time. Why the fuck would you do something like that? There you go. You get so mad. You like, I really wasn't planning on saying anything today, getting into it with you, but you don't provoke me. That's like that fire. Like, you can't hold it back. You have to say something.
And it only happens that way because it's built up.
Yeah.
That's that he held it, but he couldn't hold it no more.
Yeah.
It had to just come out. And then that's where you go out and start cursing people out.
And in the case of Mattathias, it manifested where he just had to physically put his hands on him. This guy did that. Nehemiah.
Pulling beards, smacking him and shit.
That's it. And ain't nobody was gonna say nothing to Nehemiah.
No, hell no.
Because he wasn't an ordinary man. That's the king's cupbearer. He had power coming up in there. He say some shit. I think
he was granted by the king's permission to come back and help with the rebuilding. So when he came in, he's like, you niggas, what the fuck happened to you? Like, what is this? How many generations were you out there for? Now you forgot your language. What the fuck? Pulling beers, wild smacking niggas up.
Yep.
You know, getting back in order.
I was shocked at that. He said the zeal of his father has eaten him up. You know, when he saw that, because sometimes, like you may be chill, but sometimes you just get to the point where it's like a fire that's,
Jake will bring
you
it
know,
out of you.
yeah,
Jake will bring it out of you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's too much. You know, you gotta let it out.
Jake will bring it out of you, man.
Yeah.
That's why we see the type of destruction, the destructive power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Because imagine all these years. Look, we've been in this for just a few. This is like milliseconds. In the grand scheme of things, milliseconds. If you look at prophecy, how long it's been, just milliseconds. And we still have, like, we still gotta bear that whole, oh, these niggas, man, oh, here we go, Jake. Oh,
Again and
Jake.
again and again.
Again and again and again. Imagine the Lord.
Long suffering.
Oh, man, shit.
Yeah, I mentioned that with Yahushua. I think in one video. Don't think that Yahushua probably wasn't pissed with some of the scribes and Pharisees. Oh, here they come again with this bullshit ass question. You know? Things like that. Sometimes the disciples like, oh, ye of little faith, like that's probably why he dipped out so much and went to pray. It's like, I need to just move side so I can deal with these people.
And when you're very sure of something and you're telling somebody who's supposed to be sure but they're not, it's annoying. It's vexing. It's like, just believe. How about that? You don't gotta think about it. Yeah, just believe, bro. Like, just come with me. Just believe. Everything gonna be like, yeah, but what if we get there? Nigga, stop doing that. Yo, it's so annoying to deal with people like that. Yeah.
Moses wanted to kill himself because our people is just so aggravated.
Oh my God.
Elijah.
Elijah.
You know, I don't know if you remember in high school, every time they do that shit, every time they come, the same people that argue with you the day before and say that they gonna come back. All right, but you saying this, so what about this? It's like, yo, bro, give it a rest, man. Like, then eventually it gets to the point you just start ignoring it. You know, it's like, yeah, whatever. You just want a response.
That's Mr. Skirt.
Yeah.
You always thinking negative of a situation. You gotta have an optimism.
Oh, well, you know what they say? They say that both the optimists and the pessimists are needed for society. He said that the optimist invests the plane, the pessimist invests the parachute. You know, so there you go.
That's I like that.
You gotta
I like that.
So where we at? Let's read that again.
Jeremiah 20:9. Then I said, I will not make mention of them.
So guess what? If you're a true prophet of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, you blessed, you set, because you're gonna do your job regardless, and you're gonna be delivered regardless, because you're gonna do your job regardless. Look, man, a true man of the Lord, if you can go a whole week and you ain't done no content, that's a problem. And I'm talking about like all right, maybe some major event happened in your life. Even then, you can still give a testimony, right? But if you can go a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, and you haven't done the work of the Lord, you mean nothing has itched inside of you? Like yo, I am bugging the hell out.
You're dead.
You're dead. Like I'm going 24 hours. And I wasn't able to put out content, you start feeling very, very uncomfortable. Now, imagine something, like I always give this example, the thing that excites a prophet the most is prophecy.
That's it.
You could be with your woman in bed, laying down, resting, and get a notification on your phone, like a brother that says, yo, look at this article. And you look at the artigle, it says, the mandatory implementation of yada, yada, yada has just gone into effect in these countries. You going, yeah, babe, hold on. Well, pick up, move on to the side.
I gotta do something.
All right, do a lesson on this.
Go in the other room.
You know, because you gonna be like, instantly, your excitement is on a different level. Excitement on overdrive.
Overdrive. Because we're on edge. Every day, bro. I remember every morning we wake up and we say a prayer, Lord, you know, let something exciting happen today.
Right.
Like, I don't want to go through the day with just a regular mundane, just regular day. Like, we need more excitement.
Right.
These people are still wicked. You know, show them signs. Lord, let them. We've been telling them. You know, but when that time comes, though, we're gonna be the ones to be like, hey, Lord, just protect us from this, because damn, like, you know, because it's gonna be that crazy. You know, you're gonna see people that you know get cooked, and you're gonna be like, that's close, man. Hey, Lord, the water, you know what I'm saying? Like, every day is gonna be. That's why it says Jacob's trouble. Every day is gonna be an uneasy feeling.
If a man did free from a line,
There you go. Uneasy.
That doesn't have to be instantly.
No.
That could be like day one, you just narrowly escaped, and then day two, you in some shit.
Yep. Every single day you're gonna have, and it's gonna be mostly the inner cities, man. Because the scriptures talk about the city shall be troubled. It's gonna be mostly the inner cities, because that's their main focus. It's through the inner cities that they're able to run everything else.
So that's where Jake is at.
That's where Jake is at.
And it's Jacob's trouble.
Yep.
And he's Esau's trouble too.
Oh yeah, he's done.
But it's on different levels. See,
Levels.
Esau gonna be causing Jacob's trouble, but the Most High gonna be causing Esau's trouble. You know? So the Lord got it all set up in a nice, beautiful way.
Right, because Jacob's trouble side effect is Esau's end.
trouble. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Esau's end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the ending of Jacob's trouble is the ending of Esau's world.
That's it.
You know? So like I was saying, it's a beautiful thing. Because by default, the Lord has look, there are 144,000 men that no matter what happens, they're gonna do their job and they're gonna be delivered.
That's it.
You want to talk about no free will? The 144,000 men don't have free will but to do the work of the Lord.
Period.
So if you are one of the 144,000, you're set.
That's it.
Whether you know it or not. And you're going to be like that. You're going to be like Jeremiah. You cannot help. And because of that, you're going to get irritated when you're around people that can't do the same thing. You know? And what I mean by that is people that are lukewarm, that are slothful. It's just like you can't understand how it is that somebody can go that long without doing the work of the Lord. How can somebody can utter these words out of their mouth without the fear of the Lord? You can't understand that because your spirit is completely different. But you'll be just like this. You can't help but to come out and do the work. And when you do it, you feel most alive. You feel that relief. See, Jeremiah felt relieved when he did that. Look, when you all excited to do a video and you finally finish doing the video, you calm down.
Relax.
It's like, all right, that's cool. It's like dopamine rush. You know, the scriptures talk about joy unspeakable. That's what happens. So imagine what good of a position you're in to where you take so much joy in doing what you're supposed to do. And in doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to get rewarded and have joy in abundance. Like you're going to be delivered.
Right.
The Lord made it so easy for you to do what you got to do. And in return, he's going to reward you for doing what you got to do. That's like the Lord saying, eat 3 times a day. And after that, I'm a deliver you.
Right.
You know, you ain't never going to get no disease in life anymore.
But also too, remember the prophets are it's like a car, right? For the truth to actually, because the truth is, like it tells you in Second Ezra, it was buried. So you need somebody, a starter, a fire starter to kick the truth going.
Right.
And once it gets on the roll, just get the fuck out the way. That's how the truth works. So the Lord had to spark certain men, right? This is the destination. We need to drive to that point. The prophets are the drivers. You gotta drive this truth down to where we gotta go. And just like a car, you need to drive the car to the destination. So regardless, the Lord set up 144,000 drivers to drive this truth to its destination. So regardless of what you do, this truth is going to pummel you, it's going to crush you, it's going to run you over because it has to get to this point. Just like the car. It's muddy, it's going to go right through it. If it's snow, it's going to go right through it. It's going to bulldoze right through it. That's the men of the Lord. So there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do but just step away, step to the side and watch it do its thing.
Or join the train.
Or join the train. Or if not, you're gonna get crushed, you're gonna get run over, and it's gonna be merciless running over. Because the car don't think about, oh, I just ran over a rat. Well, the rat shouldn't have been in the way in the first place. I'll run you over.
You got insurance.
You got insurance? Yeah. You know? So the Lord had to start the fire. You know? Start from our elders, apostles, and apostles of Great Millstone on down. And their elders. There had to be a fire starter, somebody who's going, boom, get this thing popping.
And sometimes the fire starts small, right?
And then
as you put sticks,
boom.
Then eventually you put logs. Then eventually you put more. And then it starts to
just ignite, and it becomes a thing where you can't control. And then it burns.
Fires. There you go. And now you can't. Oh, what did we just read in 2nd Ezra 15? Can any man basically extinguish a fire of the stubble that has already begun to burn?
Yeah.
So Esau, you done messed up because you should have stopped the fire before it got burned.
Right.
But now it's gonna burn and burn and burn and burn and burn.
It's like a fire that starts in an open field, real small.
Yes.
But then there are trees everywhere. In the
So it
open
catches
field,
on.
it catches on, and then it's like petroleum was lined up. So the moment it catches this, it takes over right there. That's what you're seeing now.
And the electric, like the petroleum.
Petroleum.
So the second the fire touches it, it lights up.
It just lights up, and then it takes off, and then next thing you know, the whole land is on fire. You're like, what did we get? How did we get here? It just started. Like, what the fuck? It started about 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And now look where it's at. It's burned the whole entire planet? Yes.
Like when Samson burnt the field of the Philistines,
yeah.
we're like those foxes that he tied the tails together and he just let them go.
Yep.
You know, and we burning this field.
Yep.
Burn, baby, burn.
That's it. Hey, that's why the Apostle Paul said what? Breaking down strongholds.
Let's get that real quick. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4.
Breaking down strongholds because it's through that fire. Fire, it's a melting element. You know, fire and water. Those are two of the baddest elements there is. You know, because through water, you could use water to cut through steel, all kinds of shit with the pressure. Yeah. You know, and water is a cleansing agent, right? Water takes shape of whatever you put it in, right? It takes the taste of whatever you give it. right? The color of whatever you put it in. You see what I'm saying? It's a washing agent, right? It's so many different things you can use for cooking, for
Hydration,
cleaning,
shower.
hydration, right? The whole entire planet needs water,
Yes.
right? It goes
Life
back
came
to
from water.
life came from water, exactly. But at the same time, water could be deadly. Look what happened with the flood. The Lord used water to destroy a planet which had an inhabitants that came from water,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But now the Lord is going to use fire. You see, that's another bad element, okay? That the Lord is going to use, as it's written in 2 Peter, that the earth shall melt, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
And yet these are two things that are essential for life.
It's boom
You need water and fire.
and fire.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, above the firmament, you got water.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep. That's right. That's right. So you see how the Lord, and that's why it says these things for the are good for the godly, but they also set for evil for the ungodly. So the Lord can He can turn anything, something as everybody needs a shower, right?
Yeah.
And yet the shower could be a deathbed.
Yeah.
You slip, your head hits the wrong thing, and you're dead. So it's all about fearing the Most High. But let's get that in First, 2 Corinthians, and then if brothers got any last precepts, you could.
Water is life. Think about it. You could drink water when you're thirsty, but you can also drown in water if you have too much of it.
That's it.
That's crazy.
That's it. Yeah. Hey, that's why a false balance is an abomination, because you can have too much of something which can be bad for you.
Too much chicken.
Yeah.
Too much of something good could be bad for you.
Bad. Yeah. So if it's had in moderation, it's good. Perfect. Right.
The balance.
Tells you about that about Yayan.
Yeah.
If it's had in moderation, it's good. It's good. So it's a beautiful thing, and that's why you need understanding. Understanding is like the manual of life.
Yep.
Okay, this is good so long as you don't overdo it. This is bad, but if used in certain increments, can be good. Or can have a good cause. Poison is bad, but yeah, you use it to kill rats.
Yep.
So then it's good. You know what I'm saying? A gun is bad, but people use it to defend themselves. So then it becomes good. So everything has a balance to it, depending on its use.
Just to add to your point, the truth is good, but it's a stumbling block to those that can't receive it.
That's it.
I
To
think
some it's terror.
in Sirach it says that, that, I forget how it's phrased, but it's basically that the things that are beneficial, I'm roughly paraphrasing, but it's a stumbling block unto the
wicked.
Unto the wicked.
Yeah. Unto the righteous. I think it's something.
Yeah, that's the one I was quoting earlier.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
it
so
describes all the
39,
different things. Yeah, it is that. Yeah. Yep.
Hey, the prime example would be Yahushua. When he was born, it was said that he's going to be a stumbling block to many.
He said
and
for the
offense.
rising and falling of many.
Rising and fall, and as a rock of offense to many.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
to some salvation.
To some to salvation, exactly. So it's the same thing. We're teaching, we're teaching from the Bible, but yet it's deemed a work of evil, right? But how is that evil if we're teaching the word to the Heavenly Father?
That your president swearing on.
Boom. So what's going on there?
What's going on?
Got a lot of
See,
answers.
but that's the thing. They never really want to associate us with the Bible. They always want to extract
Right.
doctrine and
Yeah,
dogma,
yeah.
but they never want to associate the book.
Yeah.
What about the book? You got it. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. That's right. Weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but spiritual and mighty through God to pulling down the strongholds.
Hey, we like the spiritual Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual. Anybody gets in the arena, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Done.
They send every type of challenger, every type of scoffer, vocab Malone, Jesus is the word. That dude got confounded when he went to the elders and brothers and dollars. He was defeated.
You ran off.
Yeah.
Squirreled off quick. They were asking questions. What about this and Daniel? Oh, that's the prophecies. You ask those questions, nigga. You should just tie your hair like a ponytail, like a woman, and just walked off that way. It would have been better that
Like
way.
they steal and run.
Yeah.
That's
better
like
that way.
when in boxing, right? When they land a punch on somebody, his leg starts tweaking. That's how it is when you hit him with the precepts, He's like,
He's staggering.
Oh, shit.
He can't even defend right. His head is coming up and it's going right like that. Yeah, he
One
staggered,
boxer
yeah.
caught a hit, and he just walked out the ring. He's like, nah, I can't deal with that.
I see you bring that Matthew 10 and 5 out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, man,
Saw
I'm
it,
out.
right? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You open that shit, he
Romans
walks out
9:13. That's that left hook to the chin. Oh no, I'm out of here. Okay.
I ain't never seen nothing like that. That was the
Everybody
first
looked
in
at
a
him.
lifetime.
Hell, there was a white girl. She was like,
He just bowed out gracefully. Like,
Yeah,
I go.
I seen John Jones beat somebody ass so bad, bro. He tapped out from strikes, bro. Bro, you tap out from a submission, bro. He was hitting him so bad, bro. He hit him with them elbows and knees. He was tapping, bro. He didn't even got you in the submission. He was like, yo, I tapped.
That's it. That's it.
The ref had to stop it. It was the ref stopping. And he just tapped it.
Yeah. That's what happens when these people come up. Man, they end up going down the street.
shit.
You know, you hit them with the spiritual verses, and they just look at you for a bit. You know what? I forgot. We were in Elizabeth this time, and some dude came up, and he came up with 2 questions. He came up and said, "I got 2 questions." He asked the first one, and then he asked one about immortality, and I brought out Wisdom of Solomon 2. For the Most High made man to be immortal. He's like, yeah.
I remember that.
You know, he came with scoffing energy, but that shit was just such a cut that he's like,
You just stopped my whole shit. I have more. Fuck it, I'm not gonna say it.
Hey, that happened with the elder Badat Zakma when those 2 ladies came up, and one of them was older, one of them was younger, and they were going to the scriptures, and they brought out Romans. And he said, there's a scripture in that says they were gonna be brought back again. He said, again meaning you had to have been there the first time. She went from, well, no, but oh shit. Nah, hold on. She shut the other girl down. She said, nah, hold on, no, he's right. Again, well, you're right. You got a good point. Then all of a sudden they became believers. That is right. Oh wow. You see, so that's how it is when you deal with these things. But the thing too is, the balance is that if you're not learned, you may be speaking, you may be on the correct point, but you can't defend it.
Right.
And somebody who's actually saying something false, but they just know how to say it, can actually make you look like you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So they can actually come and make you believe a lie. You know, the scriptures say that, right? That they should believe a lie because you know it's strong illusions. So he comes in and he's throwing in these punches and so on and so forth, but you can't defend because you don't got the armor. Instead of you studying, you watching, you know, whatever videos for entertainment. So you coming out here, you barely got one of the feet, the things on. Your left foot is like bare and shit, and the most important parts are uncovered. They give you some liver shots, and now you're struggling.
Tapping out, leaving the ring quick and shit.
You know? No, brother, no. You know, that's what happens. That's why it says you got to come out here rightly dividing the word of truth. You got to come ready and prepared. They shouldn't even be able to touch you.
Yep.
When they come into this domain, they shouldn't be able to touch you. When you get into the scriptures, we gonna get you.
The spiritual lines.
That's it.
You gotta get torn up.
You gonna get torn up before your feet even touch the ground.
Yeah,
you know? Torn up from the floor. You know? What's that precept? Okay, what about this? We all gonna have precepts lined up.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And now you gonna answer questions.
Yep.
Yeah, like that one dude that was saying a while back, is the Muslim fan kill Israelites and all that. I don't know if you remember that.
Was it over there?
Yeah. He started bringing out a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I forgot his name. He told me I gotta go get a pamphlet from the car. I'm like, nah. Let's finish here and then go. You don't gotta come back. And he never came back. That's the thing. They always say they're gonna come back and they never come back.
Oh, hell no.
You
Yeah,
know?
but that's why Yahushua knew that. That's why that guy said, "Oh, let me go back there and say goodbye. Let me bury my." He said, "Look, bro, let them do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
If you go back there, you stay back there. I'm looking for men who, because he said, follow me. When you got all the men that he went to, they had their own lives. They got their own shit. Exactly. We had the Zebedee brothers left their father in the boat and everything to follow Yahushua.
Where you going?
Where y'all going? Hey, we going for salvation. Our master's here. And he came and called us by name. He literally came to every one of us. Remember, that's something that in the ancient world never used to happen. It was always a family who take their son, who was of 12 years old, to send them to the rabbi to teach them the law. All right, that's Apostle Paul learned from Gamaliel that way. All right, so that was our ancient practice. It was an ancient custom. You had to know the law. You just had to know the law, right? So normally you send your child or your son to the rabbi to be an understudy, like Samuel being sent to Eli to go, assist him. Elijah, same thing. But this time, Yahushua actually physically went out and looked for his understudies.
Right.
Normally they come to him. He went out looking for them. That means that they're special.
That's like that's like when the schools come out to recruit you.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
instead of
exactly.
you applying to
you
them.
applying to them, exactly. If a job comes looking for you,
Yeah.
it's like, oh shit, like I'm minding my own business. Like, yeah, we saw your resume on this, and we think you're a good fit for this job. Boom, we're coming for you.
Yep.
Like, this is how much you're gonna get paid, and so on and so forth. Come ready to work.
Yep.
You know. But the House Shot story was different. The same thing happened with all of us. We were all living our own regular lives, wicked as all hell. And then the Lord came in and said, "Nope, y'all gonna come in and serve me. All the talents you have, instead of serving the world, you're gonna come serve me because y'all just talented over here. You know, immense amount of talent. That if it wasn't for this truth, we'll be on the upper echelon in today's society, no matter what it is. It's just a blessing thing that the Lord gave all of us. You know, but we sacrificed all that. You know, even the apostles talk about it. You know, talented musicians, artists, you know, athletes, all kind, inventors. I mean, you name it, we got it. You know, but the Lord said, "Nah, fuck all that. I know you got it, but use your talents, your actual spiritual talents, to serve me." This is the most
in the days of your youth.
There you go. Yep.
John 15:16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain.
There you go.
That whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you.
There you go. So that's the whole point. Use your energy to do that one. You know, not whatever else you want. Because all that stuff we gonna get.
You don't get it.
This is a once. This is it. This time and that's it. You don't get to redo this in the kingdom. All that vanity stuff that comes and goes. King Solomon had that, and he said it was vanity. This is what King Solomon would have chose this over that if he could do this,
Hell yeah.
because this would have given him the one thing that all the things he had he couldn't get, which was immortality. Yep.
Which is funny.
He ended up, yeah, exactly. He came back and did it, and that's why he was all about it, right? He said, "No women, no nothing. I've had that, and I remember that. I know what it's like. I'm coming for this. This I've never had. You know, so I'm coming for this. That's why he said, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me. This is what I'm all about."
Oh, I was also going to add to what Aharon was saying about how talented, you know, Jake is, or us, but Jake in general. I was just using an example. If you ever listen to like Ray Lewis speeches and things like that, imagine if Ray Lewis was in the truth.
Man.
Then you hear the way he talks at times and things like that.
Gets
The way he,
you hyped up.
yeah.
It's
Wake up,
inspiring.
wake up.
Yeah. It's very inspiring. Like Deion Sanders, same thing. You know, they have that spirit where they can garner the troops, pretty much. And Esau is very afraid of shit like that, especially if you're the truth. You're garnering spiritual soldiers like that. Oh man, that's the problem. You know, that's the same thing that was happening back in ancient Rome. You know, Claudius had to kick out the Jews, the Judeans back there in the land of Rome. He said, "Yo, you got to get the fuck out of here, because you guys are raising hell. Yeah, you're doing too much. You're causing that." They said, even when you go on Google and you type it in, why did Claudius kick out the Jews in Rome? It's gonna say because they were raising hell because of Crestus. Who's Crestus? Yahushua.
Because they thought that at that time was when everything was going to be taken over.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Because
I'm
he
going
said
down
it.
anyway.
Yeah, he
Exactly.
said it.
Yep. And that's why Paul said in the book of Thessalonians that don't be deceived, for that day shall not come till they come to fall away first. You know, so calm down, calm down. You know? But yeah, let's bring that up in 1 Corinthians 10. 2 Corinthians 10.
This is 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Right, and this is a spiritual weapon. Can we get that real quick? You already know it.
Hebrews chapter 4
Had it open.
and verse 12. Oh, you got it?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful.
So what's the word of the Most High? The Bible, right? Okay, it's quick and powerful.
And sharper than any two-edged sword.
We can cut you faster with this than you can with a physical weapon.
Cut yourself with.
Yeah. And sharper than any two-edged sword. No armor can defend against this. Go on.
It says piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit.
When you divide something asunder, you separate it. So it pierces so deep, it separates the soul and spirit. Go on.
And of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of all thoughts and intents of the heart.
Now the joints and marrow, the joints are done in a way, because if you look at a skeleton, without the tendons to keep it tight, that's why your tendons are so strong, right? The tendons are like your shock absorbers. They're very, very, very strong because they have to actually keep these connected. To hold your whole weight up when you jump, when you run, when you skip, all of those things. But this word is so powerful that it divides all of that. Quick. You know? So the sword of the Lord, that's you put the sword to the back, and you have the word, the spiritual word. Okay, the sword, spiritual word. So get that?
2 Corinthians 10 and 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
So that means we're fighting a spiritual warfare because we're not using carnal weapons. We're using the spiritual weapons, right? Go on.
But mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
And what are those strongholds? These lies and false philosophies that have been built up over these span of years. They've been built up. So what we're doing is, that's why Christianity, all these churches are losing followers. Because that was a stronghold. And this word is pulling it down. You know? It's breaking down the foundations.
It's like Yahushua going to the temple and breaking all the tables, all the bullshit that was happening there. He was like, man, fuck all this. You can't build the kingdom on this type of foundation. We got to uproot this and rebuild this whole thing.
Right.
That's what you're seeing now.
Yep.
You know, the whole truth, the whole concept of what is considered the norm is all built on lies.
Yep.
So now this truth is it's reverberating through the whole entire earth.
Yep.
The vibration is going on, and that's why you're seeing all the shaking. The buildings are coming down. You know, the people are stopping working. You know, everything is just changing. Everything is changing. People are going to war. People fighting. People questioning things because of what? It's truth. It's sending a shockwave throughout the whole entire world.
It's like earthquakes.
Earthquakes,
Shaking the
earthquakes,
foundation.
everything,
Yep.
and it's just breaking down the strongholds.
That's it. That's it. Go ahead.
And I was like, wow, thank you so
That was
much.
on that?
I was like, it's
Read that again.
so
2 Corinthians 10 and 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds,
Keep going.
casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God.
There you go. So we casting all that down. You know, I'm gonna shut you down, shut you down, shut you down, we're shutting it all down. Because now the truth is flourishing.
That's right.
You know, and there's nothing that can stop it. Everything, like you mentioned, is getting bulldozed, it's getting crushed. And it's just flourishing more and more and more and more and more until ultimately you see the sky full of chariots and you see the new world rulers coming down from the chariots. That's what's gonna happen. You know, and
Gods have
gods.
descended.
And at that point, that's it.
That's going to be glorious.
That's it.
That's going to be so glorious.
You remember.
Exactly, because the Apostle John said that we don't know what he looks like, but we're going to look like him when he comes back.
Can you imagine that?
Man, bro.
You see him in his majesty, and you're like, yo, I'm going to look, oh, you know what I'm saying?
That's so humbling.
Crazy.
Damn.
It's crazy,
You know,
man.
but
But that's true power.
We're looking forward to it.
And that's why we're doing this. You know? Go on.
We're going to finish it off with that last precept you read in John.
Yeah.
If you could bring that back after this.
I got you.
Because there was a last point that was the last sentence in there. It's deep.
That's it. All right, let's finish this and let's get that.
And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach.
All right, that's it. You got it.
Yep. John 15 and 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. That whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you.
There you go. And ultimately, what are we asking the Father for? The kingdom, right? So we're gonna get the kingdom because we're doing the work that's warranting us to get the kingdom.
That's right.
All right, and all of us, every single brother is in this truth because of what? The kingdom.
Yep.
That's what Yahushua said. He said, "The gospel of the kingdom shall be preached throughout the whole entire world. Then the end shall come." So what are we doing? We're teaching about the kingdom of the Most High.
You know, spiritual is that literally we can't get the kingdom until we finish this work.
There you go.
Because it's like trying to live in a house that's not built yet.
Exactly.
You actually have to build the house. So what we're doing is actually laying the foundation for the kingdom. That's why we can't get it until the work is actually done. You know?
Finish it off with this.
All right?
I'm gonna make it quick.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, adding on to what the brother said, man, like, and we had mentioned about doing the work and just how important it is to do the work. If you know that when Yahweh Shai comes, you're going to be like Yahweh Shai. That unspeakable glory is going to be something that's a gift to the men that are faithful. That's why it's important to stay on point when it comes to this truth and stay on fire, man. If you see all these prophecies popping off and you're not moved to teach and edify and prophesy about it, man, do some soul searching, man. Do some examination. And I'm exhorting myself and everybody who the spirit speaking. Ultimately, man, if I see all these things going on and I'm not doing lessons for months on end, I'd rather die.
That's it.
Straight up. I'm not trying to speak negatively upon my own soul, but I'm saying that death would be better than to fall out of this truth.
Right. That's the oath we took. Right? That the Lord, if we don't serve the Lord, then the Lord should just kill us.
Yep.
I mean, I remember the oath when I took it, and it still stands till today. Nothing comes first but this truth, and that's just what it is. We don't own anything in this world, and that's done by design. Because when the time comes when we gotta turn back and leave, it's easier to do so. You ain't got no attachments in this world like Lot's wife. Remember Lot's wife? Right?
That's why I said that.
That's what I said.
That's it. Let's finish it off.
Yep.
No, what you?
It's the book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 11. It says, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David."
Which is happening now, but it's going to be an ultimate point where the tabernacle of David is going to be raised.
Right. "That is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old." All right, and that's exactly what you see here. There's a building that's happening. Like the brother said earlier, the kingdom of heaven has to be built. Okay, it's not something like the Christians think it's just like you die and then you go into the kingdom. No, it's a building process. All right, and we're in the time of that building, a spiritual building. So when the Lord comes back, He takes up his elect, right? The whole world, He sends us to the Heavenly Father. The whole world sees everything. All right, and then He brings us back down, and then the kingdom is established. At that point, we're taking over everything, and then the whole we're taking over the prison. Back up. So that's what's coming. All right, we're very, 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 very looking forward to that. All right, and it's just a matter of time at this point. It's just a matter of time. All right. So hey,
You got something, right? Okay, cool, perfect.
all right.
Cool. So with that, hey, Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect and pleasing to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. In closing, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ruach
Kodash.
And until next time, shalom.
Shalom, shalom to the elect.